Good morning. Not morning. It's morning in my head. I wish it was still morning. It's no longer morning. Hello. I'm just gonna do a quick audio check because I do know that recently the stream has been a little buggy. Sounds good. Alright. Let's get to it. So I've been skimping on, frankly, a really important part of improving. Quiet this down a bit. Yeah, bugs. And that is VOD reviewing. I have not been VOD reviewing my games. I've just kind of been going in, playing a few games, and then going on with the rest of my day. I've been like doing a little bit of aim training, but for the most part, it has been coaching other people and just really emphasizing a focus on health in like actual day-to-day life instead of in-game performance. So I need to start adding VOD review to that regimen of stuff that I do. So today is going to be a first day of that. I'm going to go through the steps and the logic behind what I'm looking for when I'm VOD reviewing. I'm going to look for a few components that I could improve on. And even though I'm going to write down most of the stuff that I am noticing that's wrong with my gameplay, I am only going to be focusing on a few of those. So you have to pick out a few components inside of the VOD review to work on and focus on for the next game. Ideally the ones that bring the most impact, that are the most important for where your game is right at the current point. But in order to do that, you first have the VOD review, which gives you the data of what to focus on, if that makes sense. Also, I do want to say, I woke up late today. I went to bed at a decent time. I went to bed around like 10 last night. But I slept all the way, and it was really good, high-quality sleep. I slept all the way till, like, I want to say 12:30 in the afternoon. I slept more than 13 hours. I should do the math. I slept for 14 and a half. Well, it was less than that because I didn't fall asleep immediately. But I slept a long time, and it was high quality because I finally got around to putting black tape on all of, like, the lights in my room. My room is very bright. There's a lot of computers, a lot of technology that stays on even when I turn my computer off. So my room was pitch black. And I had earplugs that I was able to sleep with for the first time in forever. Like, they actually fit in my ear and I could lay on my side and stuff. And I was out. I don't feel great, believe it or not. But I know that I slept really well. I'm going to assume I don't feel great because I'm just not used to, sleeping well, if that makes sense. And I also think I slept for a little too long. 14 and a half hours is a ridiculous amount of time to sleep. You don't need that much sleep. I think my body just didn't know when to get up because my room was so dark. Even at like midday, there's suns out. My room was still pitch black. Alright, let's do some VOD reviewing. I had no caffeine today. I've had about... I need to start calorie counting again. I had about 500 calories so far today. And yeah, I'm starting to track all that stuff in my journal. And also this jacket. It's not really a jacket. I don't even know what to call it. It's a little hot. Sleeps for a little bit. Let's see what we got. Pull up the VODs. Let's see what we got. I need to share. Hold up. How am I gonna do this? Content. Live. You guys aren't gonna see anything for a second. I'm just going to hear. So I want to look up. Which games do I want to look at? Let's see. I could share my entire screen, right? Display. Select. Hopefully I'm not leaking anything. I don't think I am. Alright. And we're going to start from the very beginning. And then work our way down. Like as you do. And I'm going to add an audio source so that we could hear. I'm gonna do this. Pause you. Get the music off. Make sure my microphone is working, which it is. Very good. And let's work our way up from. Ooh, when do I want to start? I don't think I played this day. This was the day I felt sick, I think.
Warm up. Dominate.
I would have. Yeah, this was, I didn't play that day. So not you. I want to look at these two VODs. So this was when I played with ECAC crew. This was yesterday.
Long angle, I'm gonna rotate towards this.
Ooh.
One's on. I was on.
Oh, the music did get partially blocked, fun fact. Yeah. To not be. So these are the two VODs that we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at day 4. I'm not going to look at the ECAC games, but I will look at the games after the ECAC games because I was, one, for the lack of a better term, I had not played that many games in a very long time. So it gives you a good perspective on like something to focus on. These were all ECAC games. How many games did I play? Where was like my first my account game? Here. My first my account game was fine. And I played Viper. Okay. Time to break out the notebook. See what we got. So first up, there are. You don't want to overcomplicate it when you are starting to VOD review. Actually, should I put the VOD review stuff in the... Okay, so because, listen, I have... This is the first kind of big decision. It's not that important, but it will help organizing. I have... This is my personal journal, which I track everything about me. And this is the playbook, which I track everything about the team. And this is one of those things that kind of falls inside of both. It is my performance, but it is also Val. And we're kind of important to the team. Like being able to VOD review. Maybe not so much the content of the VOD review, but the fact of VOD reviewing would go in this. So, man, I'm becoming a teacher. I just have like papers and piles of paper, and books and notes and pens and papers. And, anyway, not caring. I'll write it in here. I push the monitor aside. Let's see a little bit farther. Then from here, did my script hang work? Yeah. I have to double check. Okay. Let's do it. So I'm gonna write down what's today. Today is 7/30/2025. No, less than that. Like a fifth of my kills through smoke. So right off the bat, there are a few components. Even though it doesn't matter at what level you play at, there's always incremental developments that can be taught in every single category. So when it comes to Valorant specifically, I focus on 4 different, or it's technically 5, but I focus on 4 plus 1. The plus 1 in this case is gonna be like the chemistry and tilt and mentality and all that. My mental, I'm going to ignore for a bit because I know my mental is probably my strongest part of the game. And that would obviously not impact my performance that greatly. Which is funny because I think everyone else on my team, their mental is probably one of the weakest points on every single player. Every single one of our players struggles with mental. And I do too, but it's definitely not the weakest part of my game. So I'm going to exclude just like the psychological part of it. And this also includes things like sleeping, eating, good hygiene, good like feeling well, being well rested, not sore, physically fit. All of that goes into that like well-being component. So I'm going to be ignoring that one, but it is important for Many people. The other 4 components that I'm going to be looking at, one is going to be mechanics. That is anything relating to shooting your gun, winning a fight, and it's just isolating fights. It's all about, did you win your one? If you did not win your one, then this would all be included inside of mechanics. Even if you did win your one, if you don't win your 2, that would also be part of mechanics, right? This is a little bit tricky because a lot of people go into this one component, which is mechanics, and they overestimate just how much someone can do. They don't know where to draw the line when it was their fault and when it was not their fault, right? Or whether it was something else that could have been done with utility, with positioning, with map control, with communication, with characters, right? Like, all of those components make this specific thing complicated. But everyone looks at mechanics as their kind of ground zero. This is what the problem is all the time, every single time, right? And they all either fall into one of 2 camps, which is, it's never my fault or it's always my fault. And in reality, as with many things in life, it's mostly somewhere in the middle, where it probably is your fault, but it's not your fault because of mechanics. It's your fault because of some other underlying principle. So I'm gonna, first component there is mechanics. That's a big one. Number 2, I'm gonna put it map and positioning. Yeah. So these will be things like making sure you're in the right spot at the right time, making sure that you're playing off your teammates, depending on where your teammates are playing, depending on where in the point of the map it is, depending on how much information your opponents have, how much information your team has, and the map itself, because every map is slightly different. Some maps rotate faster, some maps rotate slower. You gotta adjust the strategy accordingly. Number 3, I'm gonna be really gruely on, because I'm going to call this utility. So this will be anything relating to these will be character abilities, character agent abilities, combination abilities, whether something should have been used, whether something should not have been used. This is not that important. I normally shy off of utility because most of the time, if you're playing in anything below like low diamond, utility really is not that important. It is important. You got to know the basics, like smokes go here, flashes go here, sentinel stuff, blocks off choke points, right? Flashes go through and blind people, right? The core mechanics, don't stand in mollies, use mollies to flush out things. There's the general underlying principle of how to use utility. But most people, when I'm talking about utility in this like VOD review aspect, it is high level utility. It is decision making at its finest. And then the last one is going to be communication, and team, and every single component. These are just the big overarching categories. So here's I have like a bunch of stuff written on here. I don't want to leak any of this. This is my actual journal, so I don't want to show this part. I will show what I wrote so far. So that's what I have right now. VOD review, mechanics, map and positioning, utility, comms, team play. That's where we're at right now. So, and then the last one is taking care of yourself outside of the game, which is also very important, but I will not be factoring that in because no one cares. When you actually play, no one cares if you got a good rest night's sleep. No one cares if you go to the gym every day. No one cares if you ate like a slob the night before and stayed up till 5 in the morning. No one cares, right? That's your fault. Or it's your thing, or whatever the case might be. Just like blindly shooting someone. It's not, from my perspective, it's not blind, but it looks. Okay, let's see. We're gonna VOD review. I'm gonna put this as match 1. It's blind. We start defense. And we have, right, like I use corners of the wall to kind of, and then it's a double smoke, old sky meta. Double smoke, old sky meta. Old Sky. No. Uh, no. What is it called? Rush character. There's no entry character. Sure. So that is right off the bat. You get better at doing this, but it's kind of like chess. In the beginning, when you start playing chess, you just see a bunch of like pieces across the board. But as you start to develop, as you become better, you start to see plays that are meant to take place, right? That are meant to kind of exist. And then you start to see patterns. Instead of seeing letters, you start to see words. Instead of seeing words, you start to see sentences, right? You got to getting to that point where it's like, okay, well, what do all these characters mean? Right now, a lot of people, they'll just see 5 characters and they're like, oh, good, we have a Sky. Bad, we have a whatever, right? Bad, we have a Reyna, we should have a Raze. But they don't know why. Why is it important to have these characters? They don't go that far. It is important to understand the characters and the impact and specifically what they bring to the table, because every character can shoot a gun, every character can run the same speed, with the exception of Neon. It's all of the above. Why did it go back to subscriber only mode? Hey, on. Hi. Why did it do that? It says subscriber only mode now. What the fudge? It's dumb. So, let me explain how this works. Bind defense with these 5 characters. Bind is in such a way, I'm going to draw this out for you guys so you guys can kind of follow along. What is it called? Valorant. We're going to work this through. And I'm going to explain to you guys how to play Bind. And how Bind is supposed to be played with this specific combination. So, Sky, Viper, Grim. Like, most people, they just go on the surface level and it's like, it shows you turned off subchat like 3 times, and it turns itself back on. Like, what? It's VOD review time. What are we doing? We're doing VOD reviews. Yes, today is VOD reviews. If I manage to get through all 4 VODs, which is very unlikely, because I've been live for about 20 minutes and we haven't even got out of spawn for the very first match. This is why VOD reviewing is so important, and also why people hate doing VOD reviewing. Because VOD reviewing, you're basically overanalyzing, I wouldn't say overanalyzing, but you are really, really analyzing the game. To the point where each round, you break down every little thing. You look at the game under a complete microscope. And then you identify problems and things that you can turn into systems, which then you can assimilate into your body, into your mind, and then utilize in your next game. It is a superhuman tactic. It's basically studying, but on steroids. Because when you study, there's no game being played. But when you're reviewing a VOD, you can actually see the gameplay in real time. And oftentimes when you do VOD reviewing, you also get more information than you otherwise would, being the player. You see more of the game. So it opens your perspective. I'm someone who has a very good analytical mind. Even when I'm playing the game, I could pick up stuff very quickly. And my subconscious does a lot of work to make sure that all the components are moving smoothly. However, it is not perfect. And even I have things that I could work on, right? So, let's start this off. We're going to start with Viper. Well, actually, I'm going to be on defense. So, our map looks like this. I'm the Viper. I'm currently here. All right, as you can see, here. And I am going to move. Who else do we have? Reyna. Who's Reyna? And we have Vice. So let's kind of break down how this is going to be played. I'll just go over the death and try to find bad habits that I'm doing over and over again, and that's it. Yeah. Well, I would say that is a fantastic way to get started. That simplifies it. The problem a lot of people have with VOD reviewing is there is just so much information that it becomes very, very, very difficult to see, what you're doing. All right. And I'm also gonna make a bogey. So, the bogey is going to be. Who's going to be our bogey today? I'm going to make Deadlock the bogey. That is our bogey for today. So the way that this works is bind is one of those weird rotation angles because you kind of have to treat bind almost as like a tube, right? So a lot of people think of maps as like this flat plane, right? So if you're on this side of the map, you have to travel across this side of the map, right? You got to travel back and forth. Like there's this left and right, and that takes time. It takes time to travel back and forth. However, the way that you have to think of bind is not like a flat plane, but almost like a tube, like this. Because when you get to one end of the map, you can actually keep going and walk back into the map. Right? And the same with the center part of the map. You could walk across this time zone. However, it's a one-directional path, right? You can only go from, in our case, from right to left, from our opponent's side, from left to right, right? Because when you want to transfer over this component here, you can only go one way. Same with this way. The teleporter only lets you go one way. So you have to imagine that instead of a flat plane, it creates like a cylinder, right? And also, bind, because of that, has 3 major channels that you can walk across. So this channel down, very strong thing. Bind also has this component. Because of this channel, if you can control this extremity, and you could control up to this point, this extremity, they basically become the same part. If you have members here, I'm gonna put M for members, you have players here, and you have members there, right? I'm just gonna assign like algebraic numbers, right, or algebraic letters. This channel here is a little bit more involved because you have to come out a little bit into sight in order to access this teleporter, whereas this teleporter is kind of given freely to the attackers. So I'm gonna put X here. So these are both similar channels. And then here we have another kind of dead space. This is what's known as a residual, or a transferable spot, which is a neutral spot. This I'm going to put the abbreviation N for that. It's neutral territory. Right. So you have these kind of, it's 3, 4. I guess you could say 4 because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. But the way I see this component is kind of one chunk. The way I see this component is one chunk. And this area right here in Hookah is kind of its own separate thing, because this is territory that has not been claimed. It's very similar to the territory of Showers, which is also neutral space. Okay, so there are those wrapping components. These are like the 4 basic areas. These are all what would be considered fairly neutral territory that is favored to one or the other. So for example, when you are playing actively, the enemy territory is given all of this territory. This is going to be enemy territory, right? Same with this. This is almost always enemy territory, right? And then up to here, this is always considered enemy territory. And then the enemy territory is kind of weird. This is kind of like, I would consider this more neutral. This is more N. Well, not like that. This is enemy territory. This is enemy territory. Like that. It's a little bit smaller on this area. And then, assuming everything is right, this is going to be positive territory. So this is your territory. So this will be allied territory. Okay. Allied territory. This is going to be allied territory. This is going to be allied territory. And if you do your job right, this should also be allied territory. Right? So you see that there's, even though these are all considered neutral spaces, they're all in between the attack spawn barrier and whatnot. Both sides are given an appropriate amount of neutral territory that if you go and grab, you can take for yourself. The problem with a lot of people is they don't actually go out and aggress their own neutral territory. So instead of this being allied territory, if you just don't play Showers, this pretty soon will become enemy territory. Same with Hookah. A lot of people give this up, and this becomes enemy territory. Same with Long. If you don't control this channel, this eventually will become enemy territory, right? If you don't go out and take these spaces, by investing a little bit of utility, these become enemy territory, which makes the game so much harder to play, right? So even though all of these chunks that I drew out are neutral territories, if you don't go actively search out these territories on either side, you end up giving up what effectively is not free space, but very easy to take space, okay? So let's go back to the comp that we have right now. We currently have a Brim, and we have a Sky. These two characters are what's known as, well, they're strong on this map because they are very good at taking small amounts of space very quickly and very efficiently. So Brimstone, for example, he has a smoke. This is a really good smoke. In tandem with Viper, I kept messing it up because I suck, but there's a Viper wall that goes through here, through the telly, like this, and then it actually sticks out on the other side, and then goes up like that, right? Hello. Something like that, right? So, along with the Viper wall, along with Brim, Brim can basically channel this entire... Brim is able to take this neutral space for himself by walking up, by utilizing this Brim smoke, and then also utilizing the fact that the Viper wall, when people walk through it, they take a little bit of damage. And if you really, really know that there's going to be a problematic issue, you could put a nade on top of that. And then this becomes like a very, very... This is full utility. You rarely ever use the full kit to block off a choke point like this. But this basically makes it so, A, you get two pieces of information. You get information that, A, number one, you get neutral territory for free, and you also get a ult orb, which is something that Brim really doesn't get much of, because Brim doesn't really get a lot of action unless they're coming in, right? If they're going B, Brim will struggle a little bit getting his ult orb up, and he has one of the strongest ult orbs on this ults in this team. Actually, looking at this, he has the strongest ult in the game, so it makes sense for him to control the extremity. Brim can also do something similar here by smoking like this, and then controlling this orb, and then, of course, using the Incendiary here as well if he needs a little bit more information, a little bit more power. And most people would be reluctant to walk through this smoke, or walk through these smokes, because it's challenging. So, oftentimes, you are given information. I'm going to put this as I. You're given information. If you are playing the extremities, not only you get control of the ult orb, you get control of neutral space, but you also get information whether your opponents are there or not, right? This is strong, a really, really strong opener for Brim. Brim is fantastic at doing these two openers. He's a bit stronger in showers because it's a little bit smaller. Long, if you have someone who runs through this, then you kind of have to take a really awkward duel, which is neither good for either side. It's slightly bad for attackers, because it really limits how you could swing this. But it's also really bad for the defenders, because if you're grabbing the orb, you're going to be automatically at a disadvantage. So you have to choose whether or not to pick the orb up or not. And that comes down to just repeated game sense and playing the scenario over and over again. Sky is actually a little bit better at this other extremity, which is what made her so useful on defense. Because instead of... hello? What the heck? Instead of throwing an Incendiary here, right? There was a more bulletproof way of controlling the space, which is just throwing a Sky Flash around this corner, right? If you throw a Sky Flash around that corner, number one, you will get information whether anyone is exposed here or not, and number two, you will have time to control this orb, right? So you basically accomplish the same thing that Brim does, just way more utility effective, which is especially back when Sky had rechargeable Sky Flashes. It was very, very useful, very, very convenient for her. So you kind of rotate the two. For example, if Sky's struggling on this side and you got a better Brim, then you'll swap the two around. Sky can do something similar to here as well, but ultimately, in a perfect world, Brim will play showers, Sky will control long, because their kits fit it a little bit better. Sky, her bird, she can throw it out here, but it doesn't get as quick information because it takes time for the bird to travel. And then once the bird travels up there, you could have already lost this space here, making it very difficult to control this space down here. That's always something to consider. Over here, Sky, it's a little bit easier, because if someone's running up, then you just walk off, right? And this neutral territory is given up, but it's given up for the sake of information. So contestant is made at long, and then Brim not only has an ability to contest in showers, but he also could stop the showers push if so needed, right? And as long as the Brim is ready for it, and he has his Incendiary up, and he's ready to just go. The hardest thing about this part for Brim is Brim has to be quick. It's very easy, even as someone who plays this position a lot, it's very easy to just get jumped, especially if you're playing against someone who has a dive. But for example, if we were playing a mirror comp against ourselves with a Reyna, then I would not have worried at all. I would comfortably be able to control this choke point very, very easily, because they don't have anyone who could just sprint up and just blitz through the choke point, right? And even against people who are, even when you're playing against someone who is playing a blitz character, you just have to recognize that and then make them forcefully go through the smoke using blind, flash, dash, stun, all of that stuff. Just dumping utility here. And at that point, again, you're doing the same, you're accomplishing the same thing. You're getting information out here, right? And you're also forcing them to waste utility. So you know how many people are there, who's there, and you're trading this piece of neutral space for that, which is perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine. It tells your team, it gives your team information on how they should play the rest of the game. This is why Skye kind of has fallen out of favor, because even though she's very good at finding out if there are people there, if you're playing against a team that fakes a lot, or plays a lot of default, very default heavy just means that you start at every choke instead of trying to go to one side. Then her Sky Flash doesn't really give it much. If someone just has to stand there, take it, and then now the orb is no longer free, and this guy has to worry about that. And either you have to double up here, which gives them free hookah, right? Which is a very, very, very valuable piece of territory, especially if you know you're going against the weak side. Or you just have to hope and pray that it works out in your favor. Anyway. What does that all have to do with Viper? Viper, unfortunately, does not control these extremities. And having a team, if you play with a Brim or play with a Skye who cannot control the extremities, the game becomes that much harder. Because instead of getting useful information, both sides, instead of getting useful information, and also being able to control neutral territory, you lose both. Because they could just walk up on you in showers, right? Could just walk up on you. Please get thrown away. Yep. And then the attack starts from here instead. Instead of the attack starting from here, it starts from down here instead. And that makes it way harder for the A defenders to control and defend the site, right? Let's talk about Viper now. Viper's strongest suit, she is really, really strong on playing B. But she's also supposed, this is something I don't have, you're supposed to have a lineup for this. So that way, the Brim can really, really focus on just controlling showers. Alright? If the Viper does not have a lineup for A, Brim has to pull double duty, and Brim has to also smoke this choke point off for the team, as well as also dealing with showers. So he kind of becomes like a one-man band for all of that. That's not ideal. And it is unfortunately something you're going to see when you watch me play, because I don't play Viper. I don't have a lineup for this spot, so I actually don't throw it a single time. I don't think I use my orb a single time, because I just don't have a lineup for this. You're supposed to be able to throw it from spawn here, and then you're supposed to walk up, and then your job is to kind of control showers. Not showers, trying to control B. I hate it keeps zooming in like that. Okay. I also failed this lineup a little bit, but it is what it is. Anyway, the Vipers, this wall is your last line of defense from stopping the site. Skye is supposed to get information early, and theoretically, Viper is also supposed to get information early. So, it is common for Vipers to play either the close extremity, which is hookah, with another player, or to play inside of this like marshy area here. Most of the time, those Vipers' position is going to be a B, kind of a B anchor. So if you're, for example, your Skye sees nothing and the team is going B, then your instinctive thing is to have the Skye rotate off, and you're gonna have the Viper move into a more passive angle where she can see both entry points for the site. So that way, if people try to look up, she's like basically a human trapwire. She'll see that, hey, this was triggered, people are coming on site, I see this, and I'm going to control. Stop doing that. Why does it keep doing that? You're going to control elbow. So for example, for playing B, this area right here is massively important. If you do not control elbow, this part is called elbow. I don't know why I separated them so far. If you cannot control elbow, as people are flooding onto site, so your only job is to make sure they don't breach this choke point right here. And most of the time it's hard because this generally gets smoked off, so they would have to push through their own smoke. So Viper kind of has an advantage. You'll have your nade at that point. You can kind of stop and really force people to go through elbow. But elbow is really important because if you don't control elbow, then you only have one chance to come into the choke, and they also have the rotate around the site. They have a small rotate around this box. I know this just got really, really, really messy, but yeah. If you don't control elbow, they have this rotation, which gives them many, many options because they could go on top of it, all that. And then they also get a bigger rotation on the elbow, and that just makes things insanely complicated for you to retake. It basically becomes impossible to retake if your opponents play it right. Elbow is such an important spot, and it's such an important place to play, and you're gonna see that I actually throw this in one of the rounds that I played toward the end, because I basically just give up elbow, right? Accidentally, it was a mistake, but it's something that cost us a very, very heavy toll, because controlling elbow is kind of the make or break whether you can successfully defend B or whether you can successfully retake B. This choke point right here. So Viper kind of has a job cut out for her. She's going to play early contact or neutral contact from here. She will fall off, and then she'll play elbow. Alternatively, she can also double up with the long player, which is something that people do. Some people, they will treat hookah kind of as their trick play, and then not actually have anyone in hookah, and just hope that they spend a lot of util dumping hookah, which often a lot of teams do. So it makes it a very good sinkhole for people to just waste utility. So the Viper sometimes won't even play. Example, if you're playing against a Raze and a Sky and a dog and a boombot and a nade and all of that fun stuff, you just won't even bother. You just play farther back. And occasionally you'll show some presence of it. You'll do some stuff here just to make sure that they keep dumping utility, but you won't do much. You're not going to stay there for very long. Anyway, so that's your routing plan as a Viper. Your plan is to start here, go here, or start here, go here. Right? That's kind of that's how you play Viper on B. Alternatively, if you have someone who is playing long, they need someplace to go. So, for example, if you have a Sky playing long, which is going to be like this, and the Sky has a fall off rotate, so Sky plays off, she plays contact, and then rotates off, then it's the Viper's job to actually play sight. So that is your only alternative pivot, because you don't want to fall back to an angle that your teammate is also hanging on to. That's just kind of dumb. And the advantage of this as the Viper is you can kind of control, as people walk out, you can't really control this choke point, but you don't really have to, as long as you control this choke point here. Because this corner gives you a slightly off angle, and it also gives you information to flush out from. The hard part about this spot is you're kind of cooked once you're in this spot, because there's no fall off point. You can't fall off back here because people see you, right? And you can't really fall out this way because people see. So you get stuck behind the box, and you really don't have much utility to go about that. I think that's why they opened up this area here, because if the Sky does her job properly and falls through here, she'll be able to throw some supporting flashes from through the vent, which is something that you're supposed to do, but I have never seen a Sky ever once do it, because most guys don't know how to play this map, right? Most guys don't know what the heck they're doing. Most players don't know what the heck they're doing when they're playing a map, right? So that's Viper defense on B. You know, remember, even with this wall, you still have Pit. If you ever get Pit, that's a useful thing to throw. I wouldn't throw it backside, I'd throw it a little bit higher up. You also have Snakebite, so you can control one of the choke points, and then just focus on the other side, the other extremity of the choke point. That's also works just fine. Unfortunately, when you play ranked, you don't get to do what you want. So oftentimes the Viper will also have to double up as the third player for showers. And if that's the case, and in our case that's what we did, because I'm pretty sure the Vise doubled up as that B anchor. So the Vise would fall off and then fall to sight, and then the Sky would go elbow. We're gonna have to watch the VOD. We're gonna have to see what kind of mistakes were made and how to make up for that. And then I'm pretty sure, I don't remember what our team did. Ideally, this should be a Raze, not a Reyna, but this is going to be the spread that you're going to run. And then your Viper is going to be, which would be me, it's going to be your contact. Wherever there's contact with people, the Viper generally will rotate over, because the Vice will act as the anchor. One small little pivot that a lot of people don't do is, people who play backside here, when your Sky rotates off, because your Sky is not going to play anchor. It makes no sense for your Sky to play anchor. The Vice has to rotate to elbow. I don't think we did that a single time. Because now since you're just one person defending a site, it incentivizes you to control less territory, because you're only one person. You can only control one piece of territory. So it makes sense for you to actually move into a less committal location, where if you have 5 people running at you, you're probably not even going to get one, right? If you get one, that's a miracle. But if you come to this side, then you get one shot to win fights, and then you can fall back, and if anyone's stupid enough to run through their own smoke, because realistically this is going to be smoked off, if anyone's dumb enough to run through their own smoke, you put razor vines here, right? You could kind of control this space, and you could fight for this territory here, which is insanely useful, right? And that's kind of how you control, like, every character. Viper has a way to control that space. Vyse has a good way to control that space. They all have good ways to control the elbow, this choke point here, which is very, very important. And even worst case scenario, you just walk off and then play 5-man retake, because if you have 2 people going through this, you're going to have someone who's able to break through that elbow choke point and make the retake possible. Does Unreal Engine 5 change anything except FPS? I don't think so. I played the game yesterday, it felt exactly the same. So, let's... By the way, right now, all of this, we haven't even gotten to the VOD yet. These are just all accepted and things that you are just supposed to know how to do. Especially, I play with... everyone I'm playing with is Ascendant, Immortal, like X Diamond, not X Diamond, X Radiant. They should all know how to do this. And this is the difference between pugs and playing on a team. When you just pug, when you play comp, most people, they just get by using their mechanics. They turn their brain off, they go shoot people. When you play on a team, you start to think about the game a little bit differently. You start to think about, hey, okay, why is it that certain characters are strong? Why do certain characters have power? Like, why are certain characters played on certain maps? It's not just, oh, they're just universally good. No, they have dedicated plays and specific spots of the map that they control very well, right? Or attack very well. That's what makes them good. Like, Skye would not be good if this angle was not this, but like there was a wall here, and like this was like an elbow looking thing, right? Skye would instantly be like 5 times worse, because she would not be able to control that space without expending a lot more utility, right? And also, realistically, if this is an elbow like this, then this would be connected to hookah like that. Or this would be connected to hookah like that. Or something will look different, right? If you redid that thing. And that's more angles to clear. Skye doesn't do good with that. Her strength comes from the fact that she could control this entire box, and then because of that, she could control the orb down below, and then she could also get information based off of that long choke point, right? That is her strength. That is where she comes. That's kind of her ability. You get rid of that, she becomes a little worse. Not to say that she can't do it, but she does become a little worse. And also, Brim and Skye can swap spots. That in a pinch, if your Brim doesn't know what he's doing, and Skye is struggling or something like that, you can move them aside. You can do it, technically. They just don't do as well of a job. Reyna, I got nothing to say, because she's supposed to be a Raze. Raze has a lot more explosive power that is able to cut down the options that people have going into this choke point. Reyna has none of that. Reyna has a blind and a gun. So this comes down, this choke point kind of becomes a question mark and a gamble, right? Right, it's a gamble, whether the Reyna could hit a shot or not, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And also Vyse, I don't have enough data for Vyse, because Vyse is a relatively new character and blind has been out of the comp meta for a bit. My logic is Vyse can be pretty good, especially since she is really good at making people commit. Once you commit to this major area, her Razor Vines, especially the drop from Hookah, kind of freezes people. And then if you have something else to like capitalize on that, like the Viper Wall, jumping out, landing on Razor Vines, you can swing this. If you swing it well, then this entire area just becomes cooked. Vyse does have impact on B, especially jumping out of Hookah. Anyway, that is how you play bind defense. At least that is one way you can play bind defense with this team. There's a few different methodologies behind it, but ultimately, this is what I would consider probably the bread and butter. This is the step number 1, level 1 of defending bind. Let's talk about how we actually defend bind. Like a spot to shoot at. And then my sprays are consistent, that I could aim for a consistent spot. And basically just put pressure on one area. Right now I'm not really paying attention to comms. I'm just curious to see where our team goes when it comes to our spread. Right off the bat, very different, very different, you know, spread than you would initially think, right? So, for example, here we have Sky playing up. Our Sky played really aggressive, which is fine. She's going to get information here with the blind. Going to play with the blind. I should be playing up. See how far back I'm playing? The problem when you play this far back, so instead of starting at my upward position, I start at my passive position, which means that I have no place to fall back to. I'm already starting at my fallback spot, which means that I have nowhere left to go. Right away, that needs to change. And I think this was just because I was too busy getting caught up with whatever, but that's bad. I should not have started there. I definitely should have started up here. Started up here and at least jiggle this. Because Vipebrook has no stopping power. I can't stop anyone coming from here. Right? I guess I could with my orb. But I'm not supposed to have my orb. My orb is supposed to be on the other side of the map. But I guess I could have done this. I could jump to keep this. I could kind of pseudo-treat this like a baby Brim, if you will. And this would have given me options to walk off as well. The only caveat there is if there are people there, they will be able to identify that it's the Viper who's playing here. So actually it makes sense for the Viper, for me, to actually just jump because no smoke. That would be my that's how I should have started this whole thing. Because then it also helps my Sky, because my Sky just runs up here. It also helps my Sky identify that, hey, there's no one peeking long. So if there's anyone that might be peeking, it takes a little bit of stress off the Sky when she has to run across that choke point. I didn't know she was going to do that, but she did, and I should have definitely been playing more up. Right now, I'm just kind of all over the place. This is what I mean. I have a really, really, really poor position problem. I'm out of position half the time. So positioning here, I should have been up here. It actually works out for me because I get to rotate faster. Right? And I'm pretty sure I don't see anything. I'm pretty sure I get late to the party. Okay, so this wash is actually really good. So our Brim actually does the same thing as I do. He starts at the late position. I think I go inside and do it. I don't do throw it from the outside. Okay. So the Reyna is playing right spot. Vi's already rotated over. I don't know if that was a read or if that was a call or something. But you're supposed to have more people leaning toward A, because A is the bigger site, and also the chokes are smaller, especially if you don't have shower control. By the way, you treat showers, and remember when I was talking about this elbow, how important it is to have retake control for elbow? The smaller version of that is showers. Showers is very important. If you can control showers, you make the A retake way easier, because then you could basically push them, right, all the way out to short. It gives you more pushing power. It gives you more retake power. Showers is important. All you need to know, fighting for showers generally makes sense, and fighting for elbow, especially if you're defending, generally makes sense. That's how it is. A little bit lower. Why did she go? Was there any comms made? She just knew that. Okay, our Vi's here actually made a really smart decision. She just knew. It's like, watching this back makes me pain inside, because I remember how to do it now. I was not doing it right. Our Vice has better game sense here. This is why we won the round. Our Vice knew we needed more people A. And also, it's not only we needed more people A, she was able to identify that our Brim was actually playing really far back, and our Reyna was the only one who was playing up, which means that coming out of this choke point, if, for example, this is what the thought process was. Whether she was thinking this or not, I have no idea. But it probably was just game sense kicking in. She probably realized that, hey, if I start with my Viper, who is being a dumbass and playing really far back, realistically, when we walk out of showers together, we're going to have to make a choice, because these two guys will be fried by then. There's no saving them. They do whatever they do. Sky probably is going to be rotating back. This is probably the thought process. And now, one of us has to take this angle all by themselves, because the other one has to travel up to heaven. So realistically, this person, Vise, will go out, die, I will go heaven, and then the Sky will go out, and then we'll have an active 2v4 or whatever, right? That's not very useful at that point. That's how you throw the round. So the Vise realized the best thing for her to do is to beat me to the punch, so that when she gets here, she can already be out on site before I get to heaven. And then I will have to make the decision, because the Vise would have moved out of position, she could be here by now. I also have to make the decision to go not heaven, but towards sight. Right? And then realistically, one of these guys should still be alive, and then it gives our Sky time to also rotate through CT, and then we kind of like caterpillar out as we go. And it basically creates you open up the opportunity to trade teammates who are still alive, hopefully on A site, and you also have a little bit more time to recoup some control of territory, even if they do die. So the Vise realized that she ran off, which is good. A little bit lower. Our Sky is playing as early info on this choke point, which is good. This is really just, I don't know why I was playing like this. I will say it was my first game.
I think I
will give you that. Stop talking. But that was dumb. So notice how the Vise is already there. So she's going to be out of CT, and see how her Brimstone is still alive. She's going to recoup some of that territory. And notice, at this point, it kind of goes into a wash. So instead of coming out CT, I think I go Heaven. I generally always try to go Heaven. Because we have more time, nobody's getting killed. We can kind of like reset that. If I actually wanted to be part of the fight, instead of going Heaven, I should go on CT here. So here, if I had gone CT... Well, here's the thing. Here's what I wanted to do. I'm pretty sure my logic was, if our Vise is all the way out here, and I am on top of her, like this, then we both become tradable. Because whatever she's looking at, I will also have a pretty good advantage of what she's looking at, right? The problem is I wasn't here, I was here. So I tried to hurry that up and hope and pray that she doesn't take a fight, which I think is what happened. And then now walking out of Heaven, we both get similar angles. Unfortunately, yeah, it was just a little bit late. So my plan came into fruition after the smokes landed and basically after the round ended. Because at this point, this is when the strength of our formation really comes into play. But she gets the kill anyway, and it doesn't matter. Because she had a better read on the situation than I did. Which is good. Yeah, she played that better than I did. I'm not afraid to admit that. This is another day. We'll do that later. So anyway, that was good. Good force defense. Very well played. And then let's see our spread on the second round. Yeah, she deserved that. She played well. The Vise played well, I played like shit. That's all you need to know. It's like, wow, oh, you didn't even fight. You weren't part of the play. You didn't do anything. It's like, yeah. That doesn't mean I didn't play it wrong or right. Sometimes you don't get to play the game. That's just how the game is sometimes. But that time, I should have been part of the game, and I wasn't, because I was out of position. Actually, no, I take that back. I definitely should have been out of the play, but it shouldn't have been because of me being slow and me being late to react to everything. It should have been because I started higher up. If I had started higher up here, and then I rotated back, obviously I would have been out of position. But I would have been late to the party, not because I played it incorrectly, but because I played it correctly, if that makes sense. I was out of position because I played it incorrectly, and I still was slow to the fight, because I should have went CT here, instead of going Heaven, because I would have been too far back to trade her anyway. It would have benefited us to kind of pinch. I'm going to toss this up to 50-50. I think going Heaven is not... It's not like I threw the game by going Heaven. That was fine. I'm gonna say that was fine. Because I had at least a vision going into it. Like, I'm going to control some space from Heaven, try to trade someone. Like, ending, fine. Starting spot, not great. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna start on round 2. Oh yeah, I think at this point, all I was thinking about was trying to figure out how to do this wall. Yeah, I remember. Go inside of it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And I was very late. Because the round had already started at this point. Round had already started. So, I'm already trying to fall off here. Oh, Neon's up. They spread. For how, like, late I was to my spot, this is actually fun. Right back. That's something that they weren't doing before. Crazy.
Spike down B.
Toxin screen down.
One enemy remaining.
That's I'm okay with that. The only thing I'm not okay with is I should have been faster. And I really, really, really should be anticipating a bit more. Right here, I'll obviously all I'm focusing on is just making sure that my wall is good, which it wasn't. But that's all I'm focusing on. A lot of people, especially with the neon,
Neon's up.
blitzing up like that, I should have died, realistically. Instead of her dashing diagonally like this, if she had swung and gotten to this point sooner and she beat me to that angle, I was gonna die. If she had like a decoy or something.
Neon's up.
The fact that she slid into Garden is a bit lucky, but you don't ever want to rely on that. Also, our Sky
Neon's up.
had way better sense than I did. I'm actually okay with how this
That's
round
something that
washed
they
out,
weren't
that's
doing
fine.
before.
And also, her running through the smoke, that's on her. Me trying to save her was just more of a gesture. Like, her dying here is her own fault. Crazy.
Spike down B.
Everything else here washes out good. But she ends up getting a few kills, so
One enemy
she was
remaining.
feeling it. It wasn't the correct play to do. The Sky actually started off good and then what we call overheated. Because she just wanted more kills.
What a Garden.
But the Guardians recovered, so it's no harm, no foul. That's fine.
Yeah,
Definitely a bit of overheat. Though that's, especially when you're on an anti-eco, if you overheat, if, for example, she swung that and immediately got clocked and they stole her Guardian, that would, and then all jumped through the teleporter, we would have been fried.
I missed it.
So that overheat could have been bad. It wasn't bad, but it could have been bad.
I don't hang out that much with people who are older than me. I think I'm supposed to do it like this. It's like something like this. Oh no. Nope, that's too low. I'll figure it out.
Where do I go? Where am I going? Why is my default... I think my logic is at this point, I'm supposed to be playing hookah. I think that's why I'm like conflicted, because I'm like, I don't want to play hookah. Right? Maybe that's why I keep falling back to this. But I don't know why I keep falling
Like most
here.
of the time I'm hanging
I could start higher up. I
out
don't
with
need to
people who are
start back
younger
here.
than me. And it's just, the noise is just brain rot half the time. Which is its own...
It's not even the position that I have a problem with. It's that I don't have any fallback. Actually, I do have a fallback potential. Okay, apparently I'm not giving myself
brain
enough
rot
credit
half
here.
the time.
If you jump this and you see people really far back there, if I wall up and then run through CT, I can still reclaim elbow. I just won't be active in a fight. That's why I don't like it. So, I'm playing here. I'm jumping here. I can see all the way down here. So if there's a bogey down here, I can just wall up and then walk. Like that. The problem is, if I walk, then our Sky is fried. So it's actually way more in our interest to have our Vise play rotate. Me actually play closer up and then drop in and then help Sky out long. Because if they split, which is what it will indicate if there's someone here, then we can suffocate half of the choke. Right? Take care of that and then come back out and then fight the people dropping out. Because the wall is working in our favor. This is one of those things where it's good, but it's not great. I could have played a stronger position.
Which is its own kind of fun, I guess.
And I'm gonna chalk that up to just inexperience with Viper. So next time I play Viper, and you have an aggressive Sky playing long, double up with the Sky.
It was nice.
Or at least play an angle that you could double up with the Sky. A lot of people is like, don't just start. Just for the future reference, don't start here. Don't start with two people here. Because then if someone walks into hookah and jumps out, then you're screwed. Play like here. And then make it so that your fallback choke point is through like that. Right. So if you see people, if I see someone here, I can walk off while walking up, jump out, and then come up and double up with the Sky. Right. That would be a more suitable, aggressive play that would have also worked.
I need to look up
Especially on an anti-eco. Like, we didn't have guns to begin with, so it incentivizes us to double up instead of playing by ourselves.
You're dead.
Enemy spotted A.
I need to walk this a little bit better.
Which is its own kind of fun.
The Skydog through Actually, yeah, that's
Well,
right.
it was
That's
nice.
fine.
It was nice.
I can't. I'm trying to pick myself apart. I don't do everything wrong. I do a lot of things wrong. I don't do everything wrong.
I need to
Like
look
here, notice how many people are alive. This
The
choice
lineup.
going heaven actually makes more sense
Enemy spotted A.
because I could support from a higher angle, right? And then we take care of all of that.
Spike down A. One enemy
So I'm basically acting as Overwatch. The overview.
remaining.
This is fun because this round it works because players are still alive. All that has happened was our team was pushed back from this front. Hey. All that happened was that our team, instead of playing upside, they got pushed to the backside. Right? And that is like perfect situation for me as long as I properly angle clear and I'm not the first contact. Because everyone's looking down on the floor. They're not looking up at me. This is mechanics. But it works because the fundamental core positioning is there. So I don't have to be mechanically good. I will survive throughout the entire engagement simply because I am acting as support, not
Spike down
the first
A.
contact.
One enemy remaining.
I also, this is just in case if Evan ever gets around watching this, one thing you also want to factor in is where teammates are looking. So notice how I'm looking here.
Spike down A.
That nade was a little
One
risky, but
enemy.
I'm anticipating no one will walk out because of the Viper nade. I'm holding this angle, but notice as soon as not the Reyna takes over my angle, she goes past my angle, and she sees more than I could see, I stop
Enemy
holding the
remaining.
angle, like that. Because the Reyna is now the one who picked up the angle instead of me. So now I'm allowed to drop and do whatever I want. And then all of a sudden, the next angle that I have to be worried about is if someone walks out of this. Our brim is, because of the smoke, they could jump out and swing anyone.
One enemy
So my
remaining.
next focus becomes the smoke. Because this is the next logical thing. Notice how I drop diagonally to try to minimize while I reload. And then swing the angle. Yeah, that's fine. That's a case of playing well. I played well there.
I haven't gotten a kill.
Doesn't matter. I played
Okay with that.
the position, right? I want to talk a little bit about you two.
Spike down
This is not a good nade.
A. Spike down A.
The nade itself is not the issue, it's the timing with the nade that's the issue. You see the chamber walk out on the mini-map,
Spike
right? Like, there's a chamber underneath here. And I guess it's not too big of a deal because he's tucked and he can't fight me without fighting two other people. But as the chamber's fighting, it's my job to hold the angle here, right? It's my job to pay attention to this. I think I pick up the neon. So he kills, and then we see the neon here. Okay. Did I pick that up or did I just react? I feel like I was pulling out my nade before I knew that the neon was there. Maybe I did know. I did know. Okay, never mind. That nade was fine then.
One en-
Wait, no, that nade was pointless then.
Spike
If I knew that there was one showers, then I knew that there was one close side. Why'd I nade? I don't understand what I do.
down
Why'd I do that?
A.
I don't know.
One enemy remaining.
Is it a big deal? No. Could it lose you around if there's less teammates and more opponents? Yeah, it could have. That was a kind of a point. I should have used my nade for this spot here instead of over there because there's no one there. I don't know why I did that. You know, I criticize so much. Well, I criticize is a strong word. I critique whenever I do VOD reviews of our games, and I one thing I really don't like is when people throw utility for no reason. And then I'm watching this back, and I'm like, yeah, it goes by very quickly, but yes, I did throw utility for no reason. I didn't need to do that. Right? So either A, I didn't know that the neon was showers, so I threw the nade short, which if that's the case, I should have been actively holding instead of throwing the nade, or B, I knew that the neon was in showers, and I threw the nade anyway, which doesn't do anything. Either way, both situations, you're not supposed to throw the nade. I don't know why.
I haven't gotten a kill. I'm okay with that.
From a positioning standpoint, I played that well. From a utility standpoint, I played that horribly.
So
I actually, it's boggling my mind, because I don't know why I threw that. This map looks way different with the change of heights compared to the map you showed earlier. Oh, yeah. It's kind of hard to, yeah, this is just like a top-down view of the map. Yeah, this is all elevated. This is, so I was like, where am I? I was like looking out here, and then I dropped behind this triple box here, and then this was smoked off, right? 5v1. Right here. So this is currently this angle. Right here. And then I walk into showers in here, and that's this area right here.
I haven't gotten a kill.
And then I grab the bomb here, which is like in that corner. You get a sense of like equating this mini map to the actual map back and forth. It kind of becomes second nature to you, but in the beginning, yeah, it is a little confusing.
I'm okay with
Not
that.
bad. She's about the nade. Maybe I should really be focusing on my utility,
So
because my utility is kind of...
I feel like the rounds are quicker. Is that just me?
Like, everything feels like a little bit more... Like, I'm not going to hold myself to not knowing the Viper wall. I spent like a few rounds figuring that out. That's fine. It's those mistakes that I'm trying to, like, think of the difference between them. If you crouched, did I crouch?
I'm trying to, like,
No.
think of the difference between them. That was almost it. I think I need a crouch. I do that with a crouch, I think it goes through. I'm trying to make it so the wall goes all the way to the end here.
Where's my fallback spot?
Which means
okay, I don't understand what's going through
you
my
have to throw it
brain.
at a correct trajectory, which I'm not doing.
Like, if your Sky is playing here, you should be playing here. Right? Because if you get contact, if it's like, okay, you get contact here, great, fantastic. You run off, and then you have your Sky have an escape route. Actually, your Sky doesn't have an escape route here. All you can do is hope that your only gameplay is to hold the choke point. Either hold it, and then nade it off, and then have your Sky drop out, and then either escape, and you both escape, or you both fight. Right? Because the Sky doesn't have enough time to get backside, if there's people here.
Man, that was...
This is a bad positioning because you basically strand the Sky up to the choke point in the worst case scenario. This obviously, I don't think it plays out like that, but notice how the Sky's out here. I'm pretty sure they go A again, but the Sky gets very lucky with how poorly I hold like her off angles. Okay, so here I'm controlling this choke point. Let's say that Sky is getting overran inside a hookah, right? She gets overran. There's a bunch of bad guys, and she's getting overran, right? She's gonna jump out of hookah because that's her only escape plan. That's all she can do. Now, if I'm up here and I fall back with her, then we can hold each other as we walk out, right? The problem is back here. If there's a bogey that swings out here, I'm baiting. Instead of trading, I am baiting my teammate who just jumped out of hookah because they're going to be like, oh, she jumped out of hookah. And then I'm going to get the trade. And then what's going to happen? She's going to die. I'm going to die. And everyone else is closer because realistically, the last guy is going to be here as well. And then I have nowhere else to go. So realistically, if I don't get like instant support right away, which you can't really rely on because I don't know where the vice has been. It takes a while to rotate. I'm going to get fried too. Backside. Right? And then this becomes a 4v3. So that's why, as much as, like, when I'm coaching, I coach our players. Most of the time, 99.99999% of what I coach is mechanics. Because if you can't shoot, nothing matters. If you can't frag, nothing matters. If you can't be given a clear target right in front of you, and you can't hit your target, nothing matters. The problem is, after a certain point, if all you obsess over is mechanics, then all of this seems like voodoo magic. It's like, I died purely from voodoo magic. I died, there was nothing I could have done. No, there was something you could have done. It's called positioning. It's called putting yourself in the right spot. Right? It's called having good game sense. Here, if this played out, which this is a pretty common play out, this happens a lot. If this plays out, that's my fault. That's my fault for starting all the way back here instead of up here, right? That's my fault.
Because here's the thing, this could all wash out, but if I started up here, I jump peek and then I ran away and we still got fried, that's no longer my fault. That will probably come down to util and mechanics, because at least you were given the chance. You saw that there would be people here. You saw that there were people coming. You saw that you had a chance to make something happen if you were quicker, if you ran faster, if you used utility smarter. Playing all the way back here is, I got nothing. The Sky is the only one who's receiving actual any information, and she is not talking to me, so why did I play her? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. Our Sky is ballsy. That makes my life a lot. She got lucky. We got lucky. See her? But if they had split B that round, we would have lost. We realistically should have lost. I don't need to go heaven here. This is also another mistake. I think I turned my brain off and I just keep going heaven. This is the Brim plays Overlook. The Brim is the one who's like kind of our eyes in the sky. And you need more people boots on the ground. So here I should have went CT. You see, this is why we've auto review, because you see this situation, it's like, okay, next time, don't do this. If you got one guy heaven, two people on site, go site. Don't go heaven. Right? Walk outside. Because you don't need two people heaven. I don't know what I'm doing here. How much do you think you play on autopilot? Watching this a lot. Watching this back a lot. This is 100% autopilot. I don't have a single good reason why I'm going heaven. Because look at this. This is the worst part. My Brim recognizes that I'm going heaven. He's probably thinking, what the heck is this guy doing? And then it forces him to drop out of heaven and play sight from a really, really odd angle. He's basically playing hell. I drop out anyway. Because I recognize, my subconscious realizes I'm in a bad spot. My subconscious, and probably our Brim subconscious, is both thinking the same thing. We thought, hey, we're not going to get any value just hanging around in heaven. We need to take our sight back, right? It's 4v5, we need some frags, we need to get up and personal. I don't know why I didn't do this. Because our teammates were still alive at this point. If I had gone CT, I would have been able to trade the Reyna. The Vise... Who dies first? Let me see what happens here. Okay, the Reyna takes first contact. She dies. Our Vise tries to refrag. Gets a refrag, dies. I could have been in hookah, not hookah. I could have been in lamps right now. If I am third defense in line in lamps, here, if I'm here, so here, let's knock this out. So this is what happened, right? Our 3 people swing through here. We don't know what the other 2 are. Reyna takes first contact. Blind, by the way. I don't know why. So our Reyna, no, she didn't do it blind. She threw it blind. Okay, so she did correct. Because we got a Vise Reyna. Okay, she overswung. I could see that on the mini-map. She swung way too hard. That's a mechanical error. That's something you just watched up, the mechanical error. She swung too hard. She swung in such a way that even though, yes, the blind came out, the blind got shot, and she didn't have enough time to retreat. Right. Vise... At this point, I would be here. Right. Vise gets killed by the refrag. And then gets one. And then dies. And then we still... Okay, so we see a third member here. Okay. A fourth member. She dies. She dies. And then now, if I had some contention here, I could have taken this angle. And then this would have been a pretty good fight for me. Because if I got this frag, then it forces another player to come back and then isolate on this. By the way, she's dead. Which basically isolates like this. Because our Sky is rotating from the back. And then it becomes neutral again. Because there's not going to be 2 people swinging lamps. They killed the lamps player. They're not going to swing 2 more people on lamps. And if they do have someone, they'll have someone in reserve. So I'll kill the guy, and then they might have someone in reserve, and then this will be a neutral fight. So this will be a 50-50. Right? If I was there jumped earlier, my first fight, this fight here would not be a 50-50. This one would be like a 75-20. 75-25. Because I'm not supposed to be there. Right? One thing I'm really good at is I'm really good at rotating quick. I'm really good at identifying something even before any cards are dealt, and then being at the job site when I need a short post. The problem is, once I do that, I seem to be making a few very, very, very critical mistakes. So instead of it being a 3v3, it's now a 4v3 with no lamps control. If I had gone this, then it would have been a 50-50, a 3v3 with lamps control. That is a way better situation to be in than the situation we are in now. Our Sky stayed with us.
A.
See, there's not only one.
One enemy remaining.
It doesn't matter because we just win. But you see where things kind of get sketchy. Like, you can, unfortunately, you can get out of this elo by playing, or by just shooting. You could just outfrag people. And their Neon just turned off their brain too. I don't know why she did that. This was a straight 50-50. This was the 50. This was this. This was the 50-50. So I would have been in this situation. The only difference is they would have already gotten one player down, and we would be one player up, right? So at this point, instead of a 2v1, it would be a 3v. And also, the Neon would have to deal with the Sky as well. So she wouldn't run at me. She would be dead at this point, right? Because she does a pretty good job trying to isolate it. If she had killed me there, she would have had a 1v1 with the Brim. And that, realistically, would not have been good for us. You never ever want it to come down to a 1v1. So, this is a case where we outgunned them, but I definitely could have played it better. So, I need to just tell myself, when there is one here, one here, one here, and you know that they're going to come A, right? You know that they're coming A, go through CT, and then work your way back up through lamps. That's the best thing you could do. Even if I don't work my way through lamps, even if I just stay out in this area here, that gives us control of backside with the smokes down. In the end, I guess, so GG. Yeah, that's the annoying part, because if you don't understand the maps, if you don't have that keen level of like VOD review game sense, you'll just think, oh, you won the fights. So that's everything. So that's why when people VOD review and they don't understand like how you're supposed to play, what you're supposed to do, the moving parts to it, the right positions to be, and you just look at the gunplay, they will look at this round and like, you did everything right. You did nothing wrong. You won the round. If you win the round, you did nothing wrong. That's the mentality most people have when they VOD review. That is toxic. Because the next time the situation rolls around and you do the exact same thing and you lose, which is realistically what should have happened, you go, it's 50-50. It's a random, it's all RNG, right? It's all RNG, right? You can't VOD review because there's no sense and logic into it, because one time you do it, it works. One time you do it, it doesn't work, right? No, you gotta dig deeper. You gotta think a little bit more critically than just, hey, we won the round. Why did you win the round? You won the round because you outgunned them. That doesn't mean you won the round. That means you, in this specific situation, yes, you did win the round. But most of the time, when that situation comes back around, you don't win the round. It's like that doesn't help you. At least I try to be a little bit more critical to my own performance, because I want to be able to. I don't care if I win or lose the round for mechanics. I want to be able to watch back my VODs when I compete, and I know that I did everything right. If I do everything right, then I'll be happy. Because there was a time when I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to make the right play every time. Make the right play. And I watch back my VOD and I go, there's very little I need to fix. It's good. And then it got to this point where like the only thing that was holding me back was mechanics, ironically. I did oftentimes the right play, almost every single time. And my mechanics was what was holding me back. I couldn't frag hard enough. I'm now in a weird spot where because the meta has moved on, I am now mechanically stronger than my rank. My game sense is weaker than my mechanics, which is something I've never ever, it's a position I've never been in. Let's put it that way. Never ever 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 been in.
Yeah, do another water run pretty soon.
Like, I'm getting carried. You could see. The reason we're winning this is because our Sky is getting away with free looks and our Brimstone is fragging. He is fragging. That's not consistent, and you're gonna see it's gonna fall apart pretty soon when they stop fragging, and then our game kind of fractures, and then we start losing.
Silo doesn't talk much. No, not really.
Because playing well is the only thing you have against ranked. If you don't play well, if you don't play quality, both mechanically and position-wise, nothing in ranked matters. Like team play, comms, strategy, all of that is nice, but the two most important components inside of ranked, because you gotta remember, both sides are playing without that much comms. It's not just my team, it's probably their team too. They're not calming, they're not strategizing, they're not running set plays, they're not doing any of that. It's ranked. They're probably playing just like we are. So the only thing that you have against other people who are playing ranked is better mechanics and better positioning. So if you have a weaker positioning and weaker mechanics, you're gonna lose. If you have better mechanics and better positioning, you're gonna win. If you have better mechanics but poorer positioning, you're probably gonna lose. If you have poor mechanics and better positioning, you're probably gonna lose. You gotta focus on having a strong positioning and having a strong mechanics. Because that's what rank is good at. That's what rank is useful for. And I want all my players to be extra critical of these two components, because when we join a team, I don't want to babysit. I don't want to babysit. I should not be having to tell you, hey, you need to work on your mechanics. Hey, you need to work on your positioning. These are things that you should already know how to do, right? These are things that my members should already know how to do. I shouldn't have to explain this. I want to focus on the things that you can only do on a team, which is running set plays, understanding maps, understanding chemistry, dealing with the psychological aspect and the physical aspect and the mental aspect of hanging out with teammates. That is the part that I want to focus on when I play, when I'm focusing on a team. And why I'm being extra critical to myself is because if I can't do the positioning correctly, if I can't see what I'm doing wrong, then I can't coach other people of what they're doing wrong or what they're doing right? I might as well close my eyes and flip a coin. Yeah, you did that right. You did that wrong. It's random, right? So being extra critical is a big, important component of VOD reviewing. And that's why I want everyone to do it. I think VOD reviewing is massively useful, just for general game sense.
Most of these people are like ex-immortals that I play with. Yeah. That looks beautiful. That's it. Oh, let's see how we play this round.
See, he has to call it. This is the annoying thing. He calls it. He tells me what to do because he is using his brain and I'm not. What he does is correct. And you know what's going to be funny? I'm pretty sure we lose this round. That's the funny part. I don't think someone would join a team if they think they still lack in fundamentals. It would be kind of odd. Here's the thing. If it depends on the kind of team. I should also clarify for that. So, for our team, Mountain Cats, we had two divisions of teams. We had a B team and an A team, right? The B team, I was willing to help people because I actually do like teaching mechanics. I do like teaching fundamentals. I do like teaching like the base, how to be good at the game by yourself, right? What is all that you can do to make yourself a better player? I love coaching that, and I love seeing people improve at that. That I don't mind. It's when we're playing on the A team that people don't know how to do fundamentals. That's when it kind of irks me. It's like, okay, if we're playing against actual people. We're playing against people who have hands. We're playing against people who have brains. Like, if we're like drooling on the carpet in diapers, like playing with Tinker Toys, like that's not okay. If you're a baby, if you're a beginning player, that's fine. You got to start somewhere, right? You don't insult beginners. Beginners are putting in way more effort. I always commend people for trying to improve and improving. I have a different attitude to people who should already know how to do that. Like, I'm not going to treat a baby the same way I'm going to treat like a fully grown man. If you're a fully grown man who can't wipe his own bum, who's not potty trained, like that is bit of a problem now, isn't it? But if you're a baby and you're like just learning how to be potty trained, that's fine. I'm not gonna yell at you for that. I'm gonna every time you do it well, I'm gonna commend you. I'm gonna praise you. All right? You're doing a good job. You're improving. Different mentality. Anyway, he has to call for this play. You saw. The only one downside I have with this is the Vice realizes a little too late that we don't have any hookah control. So she starts booking it. Vice is a she, right? She? Okay. So Vice starts booking us. Vice starts running toward it because she realizes, hey, we don't have anyone hookah. And that's a problem, because if they jump out of hookah, then instead of us doing the control of punching through and running them over, these guys are just gonna wait until the hookah guys jump out and then pinch us, right? So she starts running, and then our job is to just make sure that we survive until back. See how they started to wait, and then watch the neon. See, I completely forgot that's what they did, but that was the right thing to do. Instead of fighting it, they just waited until they had the neon run out behind us and flatten us. The Vice realized that a bit too late, right? The Vice probably didn't even know that's what we were doing, because this is the first time we've done it in 5 rounds. But here's the crazy thing. This is technically correct. And we lost. That is the crazy part. This is why, if you just go purely off of round wins, you sometimes get led the wrong way. Because a lot of you guys might look at this as, okay, you guys lost. Presuming the same path as you, yeah. We would have lost. Correction. This strategy was fundamentally sound. We just needed someone to control hookah, and we just needed to be aware of that. But this was a good strategy. It's just really funny that it's the one round we lose. You know what's crazy is we go neutral. No, we don't. I didn't realize our... Yeah, they... See how they walked up on B from hook? Yeah, like, that's ridiculous. I don't know what our Vise was setting up. Where was Vise's wall? Maybe we should have asked for Vise's wall on B. That would have done it. If we had a Vise wall on B, then our strategy worked perfectly. Neon hit. She neutralizes it. That's the crazy thing. We actually go neutral here. Both are there. I was about to say they were gonna tell us. I gotta use the bathroom. I still have to use the bathroom. Because I used the bathroom, I'm pretty sure I don't watch the rest of this. No one hell.
Planted. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Why not lose this?
Clutch.
We lose this. You never, ever wanted to go down to the wire. When you win and you do things correctly, you should be up a few men after the round is over. You should never be down to the wire. If you're down to the wire, you're doing something wrong. Because then, when it comes down to the wire, it's kind of a 50-50. Kind of a 50-50. I find it hilarious that we lose that round. That was the one fundamentally solid round we had. We just had to be more aware of that neon coming up from behind us. Okay, whatever. That's why... when I said the general idea is like you want to start a player up here and then walk back in as your fall off point. That's kind of the whole shtick, right? And as Viper, if I did that, if I started hookah and fell off, then I kind of just am one extra dude, right? Sky cannot play this corner, so Sky has to play here, and then she gets me across while playing. I don't know. This strategy needs to be implemented, but the idea of controlling this territory is important. But we should not be. We should have not held on to it. We should have walked in that situation. No. Fundamentally, good. Actual execution could use work. It was too grand of a plan to just whip out.
Gotta do ground.
Phoenix thing.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, we're winning because our Brim is fragging the heck out. I wasn't even in the play that time, which obviously don't do, but I had to use the bathroom, so it is what it is.
My ultimate isn't ready.
Thank you.
This is why people, another reason why people don't like VOD reviewing, it takes forever. I've been at this for an hour and 30 minutes. I could have played 2 games by now. And I have gotten through 6 rounds of bind defense. Okay. 6 rounds. I not even half. Well, that is half of a half. This strategy is different. So notice how this you can't just rely on a set play. You have to react to teammates. Here, I play long up, which is the correct thing to do. I do the right thing to do because here, I'm going to take control of this area, this long area, and then let them use utility as they scale up. And then I'm pretty sure this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if I actually do it or not. Then you fall off toward elbow, which gives you a line of sight for anyone coming onto B. So this area is protected for your teammates to walk out. This is how you play solo B. This is correct.
Normally,
Just I hope to God that I do it
I
correctly.
think there's a lot of Vandals. Most people are Vandal people.
Please jump it. Oh, I do the... Okay.
Play, let's play.
That's fine. This is fine. Neon's up, B. Yep. Good fallback. Right. This is how you play B.
Was
This
going down for
this is good so far. And then now they have control over that, so now I have a little bit more control over long.
You're 1A short.
Okay. And notice the pivot change. That's good too.
You're 1A short.
So our Sky clears that. She runs up, and now it's my job to hold anyone jumping out of hookah. And now I'm gonna try to go and support. Oh no.
Spike down B.
This is good. This is... I don't know why I put my gun away.
All hookah.
Yeah. This is the MCE, the team play thing that's coming out. Notice how I always hold the off angle. Just instinctively. So when she is looking left, I'm holding the right.
Hookah.
And then when she puts her knife away, I'm holding up. Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point we know where both of them are. So now I'm just going back. Doubling back. That looks professional. Yeah, it was. That was good. You see sparks of brilliance. Sparks of brilliance. That round I have no qualms. That was maybe some utility thing. I actually get lucky because I don't throw the smoke at the beginning of the round that deep. And that's on accident. That was not intentional. But this makes it so they can't scale
You
up.
want to play? Let's
So I actually am going to say the fact that I didn't throw it far enough is a good thing because that means they can't run up at me. Except for the Neon. The Neon is the only one who can run up at me, and then the Neon and I have a fair fight. Up because I have to pull out my gun. She has to pull out her gun after sliding. And the Neon runs out here anyway. I forgot how much they knew.
Was going down for a sec.
I don't know why I spent so long not being active. I was waiting for the drone. Yeah. This was fine. This was good.
Oh no.
Spike down B.
This was not good. This is my only issue with that.
Spike
Here,
down B.
the gun should have been up the whole time. You see the sky is flashing. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't pull out your knife. If someone swings us here, we'll both die, and then the round's neutral again. That could have been a throw.
Oh,
A
no.
monumental throw.
Spike down B.
I don't know why I did this. The look away flick? I don't know why. But okay. That and also that swing was a little messy. That's a mechanical thing. That's not that positional thing. That's good. Yeah.
One
And also I should have definitely calmed to this guy that I'm leaving her. That's also something I should have done, but
enemy
you want to appreciate the shower flowers. Oh,
remaining.
uh-huh.
Flawless.
Yeah. So there's always things to pick apart. So that I should have done. This should have been a swing, not a smooth. See how low my crosshair is?
All hookah.
I reset it, but it's still low. Here, pull out my knife. At this point, I should tell her, hey, I'm leaving, I'm going back. You're gonna have people with hookah,
One enemy remaining.
and then I'm holding nothing because this Reyna has a better angle than I do, so it doesn't matter.
Flawless.
Realistically, after
I'm just playing
I
support.
went back, there was nothing. I could have picked up a drink. I wasn't needed. I wasn't active in an angle.
I'm the second angle every time. I'm not complaining, it's just different.
That was the best round I've played so far. Best round I've played so far. It started solo B. I think this round was the one that started solo B, right? Yeah, it started solo B, then this guy caught on, and then we pushed back through lamps. Pushed back through long. It's good.
Every angle is taken. I just need to put myself in a position that if someone dies, they could like sneak through, and then I put myself in that position.
Oh,
Well, I'm
okay. That's an interesting idea. So if I was anticipating if the Reyna died, I would also hold that other angle. That's why I went back. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Trying to think, in case you can't tell, all I'm thinking.
As long as I'm thinking about something, that's good. There should always be a reason why you do that. So I take that back. Instead of going like what I said about I could have done nothing. I guess going back and helping the Reyna was the smart thing to do. Okay, I take that back.
Think about it just
I take that
positioning.
back.
Positioning is what I'm bad at right now. Not bad at what I'm working on right now.
Not doing a very good job
I'm just
working on it.
focusing on being in a good spot every time. Always having a plan. So I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I want this orb. Go a little bit further this time.
Okay, well, I like the short orb actually, because the neon could walk through that. Anyone could walk through that. They could walk through that. That'd be careful. I should have called my smoke going down.
House guy's nuts. Incredibly ballsy, and it's working every time.
Here you go. The right thing to do is heaven. This one I will admit is heaven. This is the right thing. Yeah, this is correct. This nade works too. Actually, no. It might have been a little early, but it kind of does
Spike
work.
planted. Stealing sight.
Please flick to the left.
One enemy remaining.
I think I lose this fight. No? Never mind. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, I can't lie.
Stealing sight.
I think you are so locked into just clearing my angles that I didn't ID
Remaining.
where he could have been. Interesting, okay. Good old angle clearing. I don't know. That was
I'm
fine.
not sure if I'm gonna have much to watch for this VOD.
No, I did. Don't say that. Don't say that. You know, just for that, I'm gonna break down this round. I want to see if I could have done anything better. Well, obviously, the first thing is throw the smoke shorter. Because, yes, this does make it a more diagonal angle. If you throw this orb... If you throw the orb like this, which is how I threw it, I actually threw it more like that. This makes it so they have to swing out at like a really odd angle. But if I throw the orb higher up, like this, it makes it so when the smoke goes down, I can't be holding it. But it makes it so it's safer for me to get the orb because they have farther to walk. Right? So if all I'm trying to do is get the orb, not the orb. And it also creates like a spray potential because if the smoke is farther up here, and they're like walking through the smoke, I can nade this and then spray because they are already committed into walking into this choke point here. I wonder if throwing it like this is actually kind of worth it. Because yes, you lack the long control, right? You lack them pushing all of that. But if you nade this, and then with a phantom spray down, surely that's damaging. And also, it makes it so if you do have that, this basically acts like a wall, so you could cross back and forth between these 2 points. The problem is this angle here, is the hard clear angle. People will always clear this angle first. So maybe a little bit of a divot like that. That's such a weird smoke. The nade's so short, yeah. Like that. Because it prevents people, they could poke their head out, but they have nowhere to run once they go back. So it's a very committal fight. And you also have to deal with more angles. And it takes longer for them to walk up. I like that. I think I'm going to start incorporating that a little bit. Theoretically, I'm not supposed to be doing that to begin with. The Viper Orb is always supposed to go here, so no one really... I don't think there's been much labbing a theory about that. Because this orb is just 500 times better. But I also don't know how to do it. It also makes it so when you walk out, the Sky walks out, she has hard angles to clear. She has this angle to clear and this angle to clear. She doesn't have, like, to deal with the stupid someone could be hiding behind that. I don't know. Anyway. I could walk this way. The nice thing, yeah, that is the nice thing about that, though. If with this smoke, people kind of have to swing this way. So you just pre-aim that, this specific spot.
Poison's off.
And the Sky's already walked all the way through, so...
Our
there's
Sky's
no point.
nuts.
Yeah.
We got so much
Just data, just with the Sky walking all the way up to the top. That was
incredibly
nuts.
ballsy, and it's working every time.
And you are.
Miss Heaven was fine. I should have sent that. Okay, hindsight 2020. Definitely should have sent the nade to default. Because that just gives us even more time. Definitely should have sent the nade to default instead of showers.
Spike planted. Stealing sight.
It's still weird angle clearing during a firefight. It's like chaos is ensuing around me, and I'm just calmly walking up. Yeah, this round I'm definitely going to chalk it up to util. Not the orb smoke because I'm gonna have to do some theory crafting on that. The nade should have gone default.
Working every time.
Because the nice thing about that nade going default when you bounce like that is it bounces against this wall here and then it lands here. Like that. It not only makes it so they can't plant the bomb, it also prevents them from playing in this area as well. So they all have to walk back into like more predictable angles. It just makes everything a little bit easier to retake. That's my only critique on that round. That the nade could have been better. Yeah. Nade could have been better. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have much to watch for this VOD. Don't say that. It has almost been 2 hours and we are on round 8.
I'm not vibing, existing.
Why'd I say that? Why'd I feel the need to say that? Yeah, listen. I need about 3 more games. So I'm probably not gonna get back to Ascendant 1 today. I was getting cocky. I don't know why I'm talking about my rank.
But if I could get
worry
back,
about your
I need to
game.
Start aiming my wall more to my right.
Well, that's not good.
Okay, this time I'm gonna nade the Viper pit. Because I don't want people walking through this. Ooh, Brimstone rotated. I did not realize Brimstone rotated to B. Very interesting, very interesting.
Poison orb emitting. My ultimate is ready.
I'm on top of the mountain. Like this spray, if the smoke is closer, I could actually spray better. Because they kind of have to be scaling up the wall, so I'd get more consistent like spray kills.
Poison's off.
Good smoke. Ooh. We had too many people on B. The fact that I was able to use up all my orb energy and the Brim was able to smoke was nice. But I don't understand why we shook up the defense.
Brim's though. I'm planning.
Oh, and our Brim's not DT. I forgot about that. I think our Brim lagged out. You'd never ever want to be Overwatch, like the person looking up from heaven and taking close contact, because you just get smoked. As lamps. What was my game plan here? This is one of those trickiest situations to be in as well. It's like when you're in such a negative deficit, it's a 1v5 basically. And what do? And then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, how's my economy? How's the team's economy? What round is it? It's round, what is this, round 9? Yeah, round 9. So I want to make sure that I could buy for next round, which is round 10. If we lose that round, then we save on round 11, and then we go hard on round 12. So it incentivizes me to make sure that I have money for round 10, right? As round 9. So my best course of action here should have been instantly to think, hey, I should probably save this. Please hit tab at some point. I hope I have enough game sense to hit tab.
Last player standing.
Before going for the fight, before doing all of that, maybe hit tab first. Just a thought. Did I hit tab at any point in time? Walking up to this?
Planted.
I just want to see my economy. I'm lagged out. Yeah, okay, I do. Oh, I have money. Okay, never mind. That's fine. That's fine. We have plenty of money. He said, save if you want. I have a stupid amount of money. It doesn't matter. At this point, if I save, it's just for the orb. We don't get it. I don't know why I didn't shoot the dart. I don't.
Player standing.
It looks like I lagged when it looks wrong. Like here I look to this angle and I get shot in the side of the head. I should have been farther back. Instead of going across, I should have been staying in the corner because there is a brimstone there. Like that, the game sense was good.
Standing.
Skins. Like, God, I was a good indicator is like, look at the KD. I only have 4 kills, but I only have 2 deaths. So I have not been very impactful this game. Taking this all for granted, I have skins. Wait, I have skins back. It's great. Yeah, you did. Crazy. I want to go as far right as I can because I want to close that gap. What are you yapping about? Neon. A lot of people be. See, this is correct. Oh, I played the. Wait. This is a good round. Hold up.
At least from what the short little bit I saw. So I
wanna
throw
go
the
as
wall,
far.
and I jump peek this. This is exactly what I was saying. Then you fall back to elbow. That wall was a bit early. And now you control this space.
Phoenix upside. Wall's going down.
I don't know why I didn't walk through. There you go. How was that not hitting him, by the way? I'm just there shoot. I do remember this round. I count 5 shots. This first shot that goes askew, that one does not count, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost 6. Was I shooting underneath him? I shot the legs, but I only hit 3 shots.
Chamber.
Down B.
Last one long.
I guess I was shooting too far to the left. I think I was just shooting too far to the left. That's looking back at it. No, they look like they're hitting. What the fudge? They must have been too far to the left, but they look like they hit. Like those look. They were like skimming his belly.
Chamber.
Down B.
Because even if you shoot the legs, if those 2 other shots connected, he would have still died.
Last one long. Stuck in the corner.
Quick break.
He would have still died, or it would have been way more damage. How was I not doing more damage to him? I felt like every shot I hit connected. I shot past his belly, I guess. They're grazing his belly. Interesting. Good defense. That was good round. I have no qualms with that round. Like surface level, no qualms.
Pit. I'm gonna wall here, and then I'm just gonna burn pit.
Okay.
You know, I might save it.
On it. What? What are you saving it for?
Yeah, that's the annoying part. You can't walk out here without having your gun up, but if you're looking down, you could get in that spot.
I mean, I guess it
I'm
worked that I
surprised
didn't burn it, but like,
That's crazy.
okay, I make the right decision. It's just that our team got fried.
Spike planted.
Ooh, I do not clear this correctly. What am I doing?
Last player standing.
That actually made me cringe. I don't know why I didn't swing the left side. Also, I'm like swinging 100 angles. Why? I could have just waited. I had 2 options. I could have waited, or I could have actually just isolated one fight. I don't know why. Like, if you're a beginner and you don't know the timing of the Phoenix Wall, that's fine. Doing a mistake like this, that's fine. I know when the Phoenix Wall was gonna go down. I knew that. I don't know why I did that.
Last player.
Like, I don't even know what to class. This is not a position. This is just a being dumb. Like, definitely pick the box angle. Just why did I not do that? Just here. Just stay here. And then go from here to this angle here. Actually, no, I don't even have to do that. I could do this angle to this angle. I could do... Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff. I could do this angle to this angle. Like, that's the jump. Wait, this angle down here. So 1, 2. That would have... That's all I needed to do. Can you not go through the corridor? I could have done that too. I don't know why I stopped walking through that. Another option would have been to continue on. Yeah. I don't... Maybe I talk about... Maybe my thought process goes through, but I just look like... I look like a lost player. I look lost.
Last player standing.
I look lost. And then that fries my
I should have
teammate.
been... I did think about swinging the box correctly. Swinging to the right.
Left.
I don't know why I just walked out like a drone.
Even I don't know. It was dumb. Okay, so I didn't know. I didn't know why I did that. Because mechanically, me and this guy, we would have fried the entire team. See? Like, that was so winnable. I don't know why we didn't. Look at I try to catch him, yeah. No words. Just that's one of those cases that if you do not have a plan, it shows you do not have a plan. I was hoping that there was a plan, but there was no plan. Which I guess, you know, cool. It is what it is. Gunfight up. Yeah. Too late. Also, I don't know why else I didn't expect that. He heard the tellies like way before the bomb went off. He heard them now. They're gonna try to catch him. Yeah. Okay, why is my brain working here? But when I'm swinging the angle, my brain shows. Yeah. Too late. I'll pit A. A short.
Last round in the half.
Dumb. That's all it is. Just being dumb. Because here's the thing, it's like, oh, it's just one round. What's the worst that could happen? Well, I'm gonna skip fast forward all the way to the end of the game, and I'm gonna show you that we lose by 1 round.
You want
Yes, does the round matter? Yeah, kind of. If I had won that round, would that have made a difference? Yes. That, plus many other rounds I threw. It has been almost 2 hours worth of VOD review. I actually would like to play one game, because yappage does not equate to being good. No one likes a chatterbox that is not able to perform. And also, I would like to apply some of what I... What happens if you don't get bind? We'll apply it in a bit. You guys actually threw that lead? Yeah. Our attack was just awful. We could not attack. I am going to... Well, first things first, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to boot up Val. One round at a time. One round at a time. VOD reviewing is... It takes so much thinking power. So much brain power. Because you effectively have to immerse yourself in Val. You gotta think stupid hard about every little thing. And I toward the end, I was like starting to gloss over stuff. That's why I took a break. I'm like, I'm actually like not paying attention to what I'm VOD reviewing. Because I've been doing it for an hour and a half. Critical. For me, I have to be extra critical because, not to toot my own horn, I'm actually like decent at the game. So the mistakes I make are not as noticeable as like a beginner player, but they are still definitely there, as we just very clearly went over. I made a mistake. I don't think I had a single perfect. Every round there was some mistake. Right? So whenever I see people, it's like, oh, I played that. There was nothing I could have done. Nothing I could have done. Whenever they watch back their VODs, like, yeah, well, like, what the heck am I supposed to do again? So what am I supposed to do about this? Like, there's nothing I could have done. It makes me cringe deep inside because there's always something you could have done. Hey, we won those rounds and there was stuff I could have done. Right. I will be right back. I need to use the bathroom. Oh, we got the buddy. Hot new engine, buddy. Welcome back, fam. What the heck? It actually says that. That was a big patch. You deserve a gift. Hell yeah. These guys are... They're always going at it. Wait, are they winning? They're playing a lot. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. My goat. Also my goat. I played with him. I don't remember whose account this is. My goat. I'm probably only going to play one. Generally speaking, you want to separate VOD reviewing and gameplay. Because when you VOD review and then immediately jump into a game, you end up getting stuck in like mind loops. All you think about is like, the stuff I need to focus on. Just focus on that, focus on that.
Ready.
It's kind of this weird dichotomy. When you play, you have to think that you're the best player in the world. In the back of your head. When you're VOD reviewing, you gotta have to... English. You have to be very critical about how you play. Right? You don't want to be extra critical when you actually play. Just enough to the point where it's like, this is a small bite-sized thing I could change right on the spot. I could fix that. I could fix that. You don't want to... Here's a list of everything that you did wrong. You don't want that when you're playing the game. That's too much.
My ultimate is ready.
If it's small bite-sized stuff, you can learn how to do it while you play. But generally speaking, after a VOD review, you're thinking about like 500 things that you could have done better. And that's not very helpful. So you have to isolate one thing that you could focus on. It's one of those weird dichotomies that is required to be a good player. You gotta be humble, but at the same time, when you're in the ring, you have to be confident. It's weird. One thing you always do is mechanics. Because mechanics is one of the few things about the game that you could just kind of turn your brain off and just practice. It's like going to the gym. Like, don't think about it, just do it. You know, one of these days, I want to find, like, an artist. And I want to make, like, a comic strip about sports psychology. So, like, a comic strip about, like, a team of players playing whatever. It doesn't matter what sport. It would actually be better if it's, like, a made-up sport, right? And just go through comic strips about, like, psychological struggles, physical struggles, mental struggles. In a comic strip way, in, like, a fun, entertaining way. Every competitor always goes through those mental blocks, and they have to progress past it, or else they don't improve. I'm getting used to the fast pace, the fast pace. Underwater volleyball game, Final Fantasy X. I have no idea what that is, but that sounds hype. I want it to be a sport that's, like, similar to mine. So I was actually thinking, I have a lot of experience with, like, not airsoft, but, like, Nerf guns and air guns, and I'm thinking maybe a cartoon about professional, like, airsoft players. In a universe where airsoft is treated like an actual sport, like an Olympic sport. I think that could be hype. Because a lot of the implications, like the psychological things that my experience has been, would be very similar. The only difference would be, like, physical traits, like endurance, running speed, things like that. Those... I mean, I play tennis, so it's not completely out of limits. But I would have to get into airsoft to write a comic book about that. Which I wouldn't mind if they were so damn expensive. I would love to get into airsoft. It actually seems really cool. My only issue with airsoft is I heard that bullets are not very accurate. And that's coming from someone who used to play Nerf. Like that gun on the wall. That's a Nerf gun. Paintball route. I would love to do Airsoft X paintball. That the bullets are like actually accurate. Or decently accurate. Because even though Nerf shoots at a lower velocity, they've made improvements with Nerf guns. So, the tip of the gun, you now have what's known as a score barrel. Which is basically this little tip that spins the bullet. So it's like bearings on a gun. It makes the bullet spin. And what that does is it improves the accuracy by like a ridiculous amount. Like this, the iron sights on this thing are accurate. Right? Like up to less than, I would say, 50 yards, I could knock a penny over with this thing. Like it's that accurate. They're stupidly accurate. So if there's that level of accuracy with airsoft, which I'm sure there is. Yeah, no, it is stupidly accurate. And that's something I kind of care about, because I don't like guns that are spammy. That's one thing I don't like about paintball that much. Because paintball, I feel like it's just, you spam until you get someone. Like, I like the idea of that one shot, one kill philosophy. You know what they need to make? You know fencing? That, but with guns. Maybe I'll just make a brand new sport. Maybe like some laser technology that every gun shoots a laser. And if it hits the opponent, like the target, it goes. You know how fencing, when the metal tip touches the opponent, it makes a contact, it conducts a circuit, and it counts as a point. That, but with a gun instead of a fencing sport. That way it's like perfectly accurate, because a laser is accurate. That'd be sick. Yeah. Mario and Sonic is Olympic games. Which one? I think the only Mario and Sonic game I played was the Sochi? Sochi Winter Olympics? No, I played London as well. London, Sochi, and the Switch one. Not Rio, I don't think. Yep. Tokyo? Yeah. Yes, the original Mario and Sonic Olympic. I need this handy dandy thing for my sister. I'm teaching my sister how to learn how to play
Match
tennis.
found.
This is the bottom of the racket, and these are like all the different strokes and naming convention with them. If she was having wrist pains, I'm like,
Death match.
if you're having
Warm
wrist
up.
pains, that means you're not hitting the ball right. If you're having tennis elbow, then you're definitely not hitting the ball right.
Fight.
By the way, all that stuff we were doing with the VOD review on for Vine specifically, every map has that. Every map. So, for example, Ascent, it has its own unique little quirks and features.
I take them out.
Oh my god.
Quadra.
The spawns are crazy. Oh, like the two people spawned on me at this. The death trap.
Dominating.
It's also something I don't understand when people complain about low sensitivity. I play on the lowest sensitivity you'll ever see, and I could whip a 180. Decently accurate. I'll never understand people who complain about low sense. Never. Oh my gosh. Because when you flick for something, your crosshair should already be pretty close to the target. Which means that if you are complaining about low sensitivity, you're doing something mechanically wrong. I have no issues flicking 180.
Useless in.
Oh my god. Eee, that's crazy. There we go. A lot of people deathknife. Wow. Mechanically, that ain't it. Oh, oh, I'm lagging. People are quick.
Just swag. You dead.
People are quick.
I hate the fact I'm like dropping. Like that's not you guys. That's me. I'm like lagging. Do not know.
10 kills remaining.
God. Oh my god, can I stop lagging?
5 kills remaining.
Why is it so jittery? Oh, you're not dead. Oops.
Enemy punished.
1 kill remaining.
Dude, stop lagging! Is it hiccuping for you guys too, or is it just me? Because if it's the full internet that's being dookie right now, then you guys won't see anything. It'll just look like it's just the stream is just buffering. I'm glad we only have one map in League for the last 15 years. Yep. We don't have that over here. We get a new map like every other month. I just realized I put the music thing away. Either lags or just Val? Okay. I mean, it's like teleporting me back and it's really annoying.
Match found.
That took a while. I always think the song is a different song.
Death match. Warm up.
Hello. I thought the second shot would hit too.
Fight.
Be at peace.
Oh no, that's not fast enough. I don't know the angles on this map. How did I live that? That's insane.
Dominating.
I feel like every angle on this map is shorter than you initially think it is. We're just left, like, bro, nah.
Enemy removed.
Oh. Oh, I saw the red dot too late. Fine. Like, I'm still loading the map, so. Oh my god. I wanted the knife. Oh, that's quick. What's going on?
Rest.
Who is that guy?
One dead.
This angle feels horrible.
Eliminated.
This guy's an AFK.
Sloppy. Enemy down.
What is this guy doing? I feel bad every time I kill him. That's a new one. Trying to bottle you. Dude. Dude, no.
You fought well.
Where am I? Dude, every angle is shallower or deeper than I thought it is. I'm gonna assume it's a bot. A dash. Oh.
Remove.
What is that spray? I need that spray. I got distracted by the spray. I'm sorry. Interesting that he says tennis, though. Like Val, why would you come in here with tennis? I don't know what that guy's doing. If it said Val, I was like, oh yeah, that can make sense. Tennis. Tennis. What the fuck? I think the Killjoy is the only real player here. I'm just using this opportunity. I don't want the map at this point. My mechanics are not as tack sharp as they were yesterday, fortunately. I didn't realize that was a step up. This is a ghost town! There's no one here! It's road, I don't blame him. This is a weird deathmatch. Anyway, yeah, very weird deathmatch. It is what it is. I'm just watching that. I stand out in the open. And there's nobody shooting at me. Also, I don't know when. Normally, Virginia has always been my best server. It's now Illy, and I don't know what happened. Pros has the same. Wait, I have that one.
Match found.
I like spying on them. It's really fun. I watched them 5-stack and I was like, ooh. Let's see what we get. It's gonna be a really weird ick for me
but I don't like shooting with short sleeves. Like, specifically rolled up sleeves. If I'm wearing long sleeves, I like having the sleeve all the way down. Yes, I know I didn't button it up. It's fine. I like having the sleeve all the way down, or if it's a short sleeve, then obviously it's a short sleeve. But when I have long sleeves, I always keep my... Okay, we're not doing that, the Hitler thing. I'm just showing you that I have my sleeve all the way up. Alright. And then short on the other side. I don't care about my left hand. But my right hand. I need it to be long. I hate when it's like wrapped up and like pinching my arm. It makes me ick. You know? Gives me an ick. You don't play this map.
I am the beginning.
I don't understand why why Riot Games makes so like beautifully aesthetic maps, and then they just take them all and make them too big. If Breeze was designed to be about half the size, if Icebox was designed to be a little bit smaller, if Corrode was designed to be a little bit smaller, Fracture's fine. Fracture could be a little bit smaller too. If they just made every big map just a little bit smaller, it would be fine. How did you get... Oh, I thought this was... Map for 10 players still. Like, Bind is a small map, and it's perfectly fine for 10 players. Split is a small map. It's perfectly fine. Haven is a small map. It's perfectly fine. Ascent is a small map. It is perfectly fine. We don't need bigger maps. Like, they don't need to be this big. I don't see anything.
It's quiet A. They have cam on A actually.
I'm just rough.
It's A.
3 Got it.
They're all going elbow. All going elbow.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
Ding, ding, ding. Nice.
I'm gonna be a little bit nicer to myself when I VOD review Corrode, because I don't know how to play Corrode. Okay? I'm harsher on the maps I should know how to play. Like, Bind I know how to play. Haven I know how to play. Ascent I kinda know how to play. Split I definitely know how to play. Icebox, rough. I'm a little nicer to myself on Icebox, because I'm not good at Icebox. Fracture I know how to play. What other map? Sunset, I kinda know how to play. Corrode, I don't. Like, the bigger maps, I suck at. So I'm just gonna use Principle, just play up.
Vandal down, top right here. It's in the smoke, you can probably grab it.
She dashed out.
Hope this is a good idea.
Die. Stealing sight.
Up, yeah.
Enemy spotted mid.
There's one left side. So about.
One enemy remaining. Spike down.
Okay,
mid.
he's just better. There's a Vandal top
Cypher.
mid.
You will not be missed.
I hope that's a good angle. And then my mind blanked when I fought the jet. I don't know what I did, but it was whatever it wasn't good. I just heard a footstep.
Shadows traveling.
Can't see. That sucks. I thought it didn't. Kelly.
30 fade.
Last player standing.
Nice try.
Her dog tanked my fucking
Yeah,
bullet,
what?
bro.
All good.
Yeah, the fade actually plays fade. Good to know. Show a little bit more up presence or bait it. I can't just sit in a corner. So this is not the. I thought I was under the impression this was the first angle. This is not the first angle. Apparently this is the first angle. Good to know.
Something?
Huh? I'm just like jiggling it.
Okay. I'll leave it. It is open.
Grabbing would be mid.
I'm gonna grab the sword.
Mid.
Clove's lit.
I saw nothing mid.
You just tripped wall.
Mid, jet.
Shadows traveling.
Enemy spotted B. Down.
Bomb down outside. House.
Spike down B.
I'm gonna be late. I'm very late.
I'm 1 HP. I'm 1 HP.
Yeah, trying to live. That was mid. That was mid. I don't know where.
Oh, he's backside.
Spike planted.
He's planted in house.
I know
and then
exactly where you are.
Jet was backside link.
Stealing sight.
Got him. Missed it.
Here.
Last player standing.
100. I thought I could have sworn that sounded like it was here, not here.
Both low. Unlucky.
Oh my god. I'm getting like map knowledge theft. Like there's no way that was that far to make it sound that far away. It was. Please slow jiggle peek me. I would love that if you do.
Hey.
Nice shot. There's more A.
Okay.
Cover going out.
I think it's all elbow again.
I'm going over.
Begins.
Nice read.
No
I don't know
charges.
one.
There's more on site. Two more. Three more.
Down A.
He's coming toward us.
Last player standing.
Is this a new map? Yeah. I think I've played it less than like 5-6 times. So I'm at the point where I know generally where everything is. You drop me in a spot, I will be able to look around and find out where I am. And I also know the general layout, but the actual like you need the small nitty-gritty angles, I don't know. Why is this team just running elbow? I don't get it. I'm gonna start holding.
I'm gonna do an Omen flash plus my ult thread again.
Grabbing would be mid.
Flash out B.
Cover going out.
No one's out.
One back.
Yeah. Nice. Try and live.
That's still B main.
Bomb.
Spike down mid.
80.
Oh, sorry. He's 1 HP, fade.
Enemy spotted mid. Flashing.
Ultimate is ready.
Spike down
Start
A.
again. They're both there, both there.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Elbow.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
That was sketchy. That I didn't know that wall was gonna soak that many hits. What did I just say?
Good try.
I didn't think that he would kill him, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Also, the jet is quick. Like, very evasive. I'm really... I struggle playing against people who are incredibly good at movement. So, even before she got to my crosshair, she actually jumped back in. Oh, yeah.
You flash that line when they're there. I'll ult it.
I'm a little bit late.
Time to jump.
Hey man. Nice one.
Okay, sure. Don't worry about it.
I have a shotgun, so I can't fight.
Yeah.
Jet's A main. B main, sorry. Mid.
Under connector, I think.
They're still mid.
It could go.
There's one
It could go window.
Here. Here.
We're behind them.
There's two more.
There's two more. Both mid. Link. Outside now.
I don't have a gun.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
We had each other's fight.
Yeah.
That's... I should have been where he was. He should have been where I was.
I'm gonna ult down A if there's no one there. I'm TPing to B.
Done a TP. Oh, I'm saving. There's one.
Cutting through.
Get out of my way!
It's gonna be mid.
Take
Shadows traveling.
I think they're on me.
They're in link. Yeah, they're through A link. 140 Cypher. He's sitting right here.
I know exactly where you are.
Spike planted.
Probably link now.
Cover going out.
Last player standing.
Good. Interesting. I was hoping that one of them would still punch through me, and they just didn't.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna try and ult this round.
Watch them run.
There's nothing there.
B lots. This is fast paced.
One's in the phone.
Cover going out.
Face your fear! You had your fun. My turn.
One's
Spike
cubby.
down B. One enemy remaining.
Lurker. Pyramid.
Lurker, I mean.
Scanning ahead.
TP.
K spawn.
Maybe spawn. Yeah. All the way through A. Just mid.
I'll play wherever people don't play. He kind of doubles up as a secondary MP, so I think more people lanes make sense.
Time to jump.
Give me another one. Drip my wall.
Could be. I think it's fake.
Traveling.
That's up.
They're falling back.
Yeah, they're gonna go B.
2 on A.
Alright, A. Sorry, A.
That's on site.
Not gonna use
I cannot
I got out.
retake.
Grenade.
Get close, get close.
Spike planted.
Enjoy.
Take flight. Enemy tag.
Putting elbow.
Shadows traveling.
One elbow.
No way.
I'm gonna stick.
Get
On me,
One
elbow.
enemy remaining.
Dead.
I'm the one
Or the
lagging.
suck
not-
just barely pulled me off bomb.
I'm the one lagging, not now advise.
Flashing.
It's my client. Something's wrong with my client. Because it's not... The stream is not dying. It's my Riot game that's dying. I do agree. I think this map, you kind of need 3 people in it.
Oh, 40 seconds.
Stealing sight.
There's no one A main.
Annihilated.
They have my gun. Oh, we have a man down. No.
In B, right now.
Portal closed.
Jet has my gun.
Windows out.
You dogged A link, I think. Are they planning B? Let me know when they're planning.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
That's why I can't focus too much on like positioning, because yes, I'm getting myself up into spots. I'm trying to be more active. But it doesn't matter if you can't crouch. That box
My bad, I
feels
should've killed
really,
Soldier.
really hard to win. As an attack.
Last round before
Maybe
the
that
switch.
should.
Bye.
I need this.
Just hold this with me, Jet.
Try the A thing again, but she'll see.
One more A main.
Shadows traveling.
40 fade.
Second minute.
Bottom mid. Crossed.
I'm going to you, Omen.
Fade and Reyna are still here. And Clove.
I could walk up mid. All three of them.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Spike down A.
Try.
That's rough.
Switching sides.
Like, that's not what you want to see. Like, nothing on the head. Everything's the body or below. That's struggle. I was so good with the Phantom yesterday. What happened? Fell off. That's what happened.
Here.
Like, I know this. I have never played well after a VOD review session. My brain is so cooked from thinking. I just play awful.
What are you doing first?
Now we wait.
Deploying drone.
Cover going out.
Revealing area.
Reloading.
Time to jump.
Reloading.
I'm gonna flash
Wait.
this.
3 of us are low.
Wall tripped.
I'm like
One flank.
Good plan.
I'm 1 HP.
3 of us are 1 HP.
Spike planted.
Have a bomb if you can.
Placed.
I need a flank now.
Cover going out.
Someone bait for me, maybe?
2 C2.
You were a mistake.
Last player standing.
Alright. Yeah, 3 of us are low. It's pretty hard.
I could plan. I don't know why I stayed and fought. If I bait my teammate, I win at least one, and then the last one is just the bomb and I need the bomb and I. Order is not there. Also, though, I horrifically wished on the sniper. That's part of that. I'm good.
Now
Take it off. Take it off. Mental reset. Go for it. I have to put a lot of concentration on the map, which makes it harder. True, but so does a lot of other people.
I don't have drone.
The worst part is, like, I cannot, for the life of me, memorize, like, where the angles lead. So I know there's an
blind.
angle here.
Time to jump. Scanning
Push
ahead.
left.
Enemy spotted.
Jet was top mid with an outlaw. Bait me.
Your
Nice.
fault.
Nice.
Reloading.
More
One
CT.
enemy remaining.
Okay.
Care flank.
Gun here.
I'm holding elbow.
Wait.
Traveling.
Nice.
I keep this site because it's like a C. Keeps throwing me off. I thought I some stupid reason. That's me. That's me sometimes. Sad cat.
Now we wait.
I'll try an out here. Doing our best. It's just so hard to hold this the yard part in this area.
Deploying drone. Cutting through.
Cover going out.
Probably fighting outside.
Enemy spotted. A.
Oh, I see why they
Reloading.
Big teleport.
Here.
88 jet.
Spike down A.
Holding CT.
Flash placed.
I like the flank. They're good for length.
I know exactly where.
Thinking.
Moving CT and then Mark.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Recon. My ult is ready.
Deagle.
Careful to wrap that.
Are we wrapping again?
Trust your gut, please. Trust your gut, yes. You wrap back up.
Nice.
Thank you for trusting your gut. Because every time you falter, you make a decision, it's like, oh, I think he's doing this, and you don't act on that,
I need a weapon.
Thank you.
your timing gets screwed up.
Now we wait.
Because then you try to go fix the problem that you had before,
I mean,
and
get
then
some
you're behind, it's
mid
just
presence.
a
I guess
mess.
I can lurk if you guys want to still take it mid.
Yeah.
Being
We could get
decisive
one
in
more, maybe,
1v1s
if you
is...
want. We could do
Literally
I'll send the
one more.
TP through site, but I can
Alright,
go
so-
mid. If you guys can get the A.
Thank you.
Cutting through.
Give in.
Clove is there, Clove is there. Neutral. No, actually, well, that works.
Revealing area.
I tried to move so
They
she could
normally don't play.
One enemy
Eyes
remaining.
down.
quick dash.
It
Like, the
only
fact
comes
that this is
CT.
a single entrance point is so cooked for the defenders. Like, you kind of
flank,
need to
though.
push all the way down. This A side is fucked. Design, like map design wise. Having no way to like go from
There
here to
you
there is just awful. I'm beginning to see why you need like 3 people on A defending. Because if you don't have A, like what do you have? Okay, you defend all of this stuff, right? You need yard control as the defender.
Let's just keep going A. If they...
So you
It's like
kind
running
of
away.
have, if you're gonna defend A, you kind of have to push down mid and control elbow, like this part of the map. And you not only there's no rotate, you just have to survive the whole round until the retake,
Are you gonna work
which
again?
is cooked. I'm gonna have to analyze this map a little bit. That can't be it. That's awful.
Take flight.
Flashing.
Good hit.
Blocking sight.
Oh, the one's close left. Push right, push right.
No way.
Spike
That's
down A.
insane. You're left.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro just collided 2 of us with a deagle. That's insane. Who was that with? The Vice? Why'd he take so long to swing? Oh, okay.
Now we wait.
I have extra money if anyone
I can buy some of them.
I need a weapon.
Watch this.
Deploying drone.
On the side.
Scanning ahead. Found them. Shock dart.
117 jet.
Down.
Right his elbow.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Wait, he was mid. You saw him link.
If I was him, I would have went behind us. You're right. Behind you, please.
Now we wait.
Oh, that's fine. Yesterday was Phantom Day. It's Vandal Day.
Get out of my way.
Take flight.
Ran his elbow here. Cypher's here as well.
Shadows traveling.
There's 3 here. One's link already.
Back up. Leave.
Fade's linked as well.
My ultimate's ready.
Last 3 are toward A.
Watch them.
Jet can be through link now, and then the other 2 were elbow. Probably going
Charges.
CT.
Cover going out.
I know exactly where you are.
Probably this body here.
There.
Planted. Cover going out.
Thorns activated. player standing. One enemy remaining.
Nice shot.
You forget
I didn't hit
your
that, by the way. That was
place.
lucky. I'll take it.
Yeah, they over rotate. I think we can do
You should send an A fake. I'll have a TP for fast B. Have Omen Vice go. Jet and I will make noise. A main.
Do you want me to drone him in as well? To take it?
Yeah, yeah. Sova, come here. Omen Vice go toward B.
Okay.
And then I'll have TP to get over there.
Wall set.
They smoked it. They know we're here. Clove and Vice is toward me.
Let's have a sure. There's a trip on the right. Just gotta get out.
Jet's at 80. Bottom mid, bottom mid. He's back out.
Let's
go.
Clove is low, so is Jet.
Shadows traveling.
Cutting through.
Spike planted.
One enemy
Nice.
remaining.
You had your fun. My turn.
One
CT,
enemy
CT.
remaining.
TT right here.
2v1,
I'm
2v1.
blind,
Out
I'm blind.
now, out now.
Last player standing.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll take that, we'll take that.
I don't know. I swung past his crosshair. I don't know how, but I'll take it.
Did I full blind you, Omen?
No, it was like a...
You know, great round, man. Can I get a drop?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now we wait.
You wanna try making more mid presence?
Nico.
It is B. 80. Oh, I thought I was with someone.
No charges left.
That Clove dies. Clove hasn't gone. What happened to mid presence? What? Go on, sorry. Why did you leave? Why did I not calm? More importantly, why did I not calm that I needed another guy?
Time to jump.
Last player standing.
One more.
I thought I had one more guy with me. That's so annoying. Fudge. It's mistakes like that that's costing me games. That's the part that's pissing me off. It's I'm playing against people who you can't afford to make mistakes like that.
I'm gonna go find this Fade on B.
I guess I'm looking. If I'm looking, that is completely different.
I can ult. Off your ult.
Clove's Ling. I don't see anybody on site. No one's on site.
That's good. Let's down mid.
CT, one. 2 CT.
The hunt begins.
One have.
Cover going out.
Face your
Spike
fear.
down B. Last player standing.
I know exactly where you are.
143 on Fizz.
Dude.
Match
Audience look
point.
wrong.
Now we wait.
Let's do that. No,
I need this.
I don't know. A is kind of a win all if you just get A, but
Enemy spotted mid. Just die.
Clove's B low.
Can we regroup?
Blocking
Enemy
sight.
spotted.
Towards B.
Decoy.
Blocking sight.
Reloading.
There's Clove and Reyna mid. One's A link.
I got sprayed.
Enemy kill.
Try and go towards B.
Wall tripped.
I might trip A flank. Clove's B main pushing down the mid.
Down for this.
They're behind you.
It's still a good gamble. It is no longer a good gamble. Just push. You gotta push through.
Last player standing.
I got the
Spike
spike.
down mid.
There was one A link, and then Clove was pushing down mid.
One enemy
Ace
remaining.
free.
My ult's ready.
It's 75.
I would pop knives.
10
Yeah,
seconds,
10 seconds.
left.
Dude, you don't have time for this. Behind you.
Spike planted.
Behind you. I thought he heard. Why does no one know how to check their records? Like, they're here.
Defenders win.
That's a hard one to go. That's a hard one. Damn, okay. Okay. Bitches. I don't even know if I want to bother to do that one. That one just pain. That one hurt. Alright. Well, I did a lot of VOD review. I learned a lot. I just need some time to assimilate that into my brain. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. Despite losing, here's the thing, I actually truly enjoy playing Val. Not in like a sadistic, painful way. I like getting better at Val. So, with all that in mind, I will call it for today. And I need to wake up earlier so I have time to VOD review these in a separate session. That way I can play and VOD review on the same day, just separately. So, I'll see you guys all later, okay? Thanks for watching.